Chapter 1761. 1761 Dragon King vs. Dragon King? Dragon King, our Dragon King has prepared a feast. Please. The next day, when Wuxia was about to head to the Dragon Palace, a longevity expert from the Draconid Empire walked up to him and invited him. Oh, I was just about to head there. Lead the way. Wuxia nodded his head and followed the expert with a smile on his face. They walked into the Dragon Palace. In front of the Dragon Hall, there was a statue of the god of the dragon race that was a few hundred meters in size. In the huge Dragon Hall, there were statues of the dragon race everywhere. Soldiers in red, blue and green armor were patrolling the dragon shop. They had dragon horns that were a few tens of centimeters long and looked extraordinary. Ha, welcome Dragon King. Please take a seat, Dragon King. It was almost noon. Under the leadership of the powerhouses from the Draconid Empire, Wuxia arrived at a large hall. As soon as he entered the hall, he heard a heroic voice. Wuxia looked over and saw a middle-aged man sitting on the dragon throne in the center. The middle-aged man was dressed in a fiery red dragon robe with huge dragon horns. He looked majestic and domineering. The middle-aged man was the Dragon King. Beside the Dragon King there was another seat. An elder of the dragon race was sitting on it and sizing him up. There were more than 100 people sitting on both sides of the hall. On the right side of the seat, there were more than 20 members of the dragon race. In the middle, there were 7 to 8 members of the dragon race who did not look like humans. Instead, they looked like complete dragons. On the other side, there were a group of powerhouses and important ministers of the Draconid Empire. The ones closest to him were the princes and princesses of the Draconid Empire. Since the Dragon King has invited me, I will naturally rush over. Wuxia saw that everyone was staring at him and walked in calmly. He swept his gaze across the elder beside the Dragon King and walked towards the position that the Dragon King had pointed out. The first position on the left was prepared for him alone. Haha, I heard that the Dragon King is peerless in his generation. I can't help but want to get to know him. Please take a seat, Dragon King. Prepare the best dragon spring wine and prepare longevity-grade ingredients for the Dragon King. The Dragon King laughed out loud and gave a light shout. Thank you for your hospitality, Dragon King. Wuxia cupped his hands with a smile and sat on his seat. One by one, the servants carried the exquisite ingredients and placed them in front of him. Come, let's taste the dragon spring wine that is unique to our Draconid Empire. The Dragon King picked up the wine cup and gestured at him. Wuxia nodded his head and gestured at the Dragon King. Wuxia was not afraid of the Draconid Empire, but he was still afraid of the dragon race behind them. Although the Dragon Palace could withstand the attacks of the dragon race, if the dragon race really wanted to fight against him, the Dragon Palace was no match at all. Especially that god of the dragon race. Therefore Wuxia had to come over this time. You are the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? You are only in your 30s and possess the strength of level 6 of longevity. You are able to slay the demonic birds of the 9 heavens? Just as Wuxia was drinking the dragon spring wine, a curious voice came from the other side. Wuxia looked over and swept his gaze across that curious dragon. He nodded his head faintly. Among the group of dragons across him, more than a dozen of them were the third prince and the rest of the dragons whom he met yesterday. To be able to reach such a level in your 30s, the god of the dragons had only reached the realm of longevity when he was in his 30s. I'm very curious, Dragon King. What kind of bloodline do you have to be able to reach such a level so quickly? The third prince of the dragons asked Wuxia directly. This is related to my cultivation secret. Naturally, I can't tell others. Wuxia shook his head slightly when he heard his words. Haha, Dragon King, at our level, there's nothing to hide. I'm also very curious. Dragon King, what kind of bloodline do you have to be so powerful? The Dragon King did not stop the third prince from speaking. He continued to ask when he heard Wuxia's reply. The main purpose of inviting the Dragon King over this time was to find out what kind of bloodline the Dragon King possessed. Do you really think that we would covet your bloodline? Haha, Dragon King, you are really overthinking it. In the entire Transcendence continent, no bloodline is more noble than ours. The third prince of the dragon tribe spoke to Wuxia proudly. His green dragon tail swayed slightly. It's just an ordinary bloodline. Dragon King, you invited me over. Don't tell me you just want to know what bloodline I have obtained? Wuxia frowned slightly when he saw them asking again and again. This is only one aspect. The smile on the Dragon King's face faded a little when he saw that Wang Xian still did not answer. He asked faintly. It doesn't matter if you don't talk about your bloodline. When I heard that you were fighting just now, I was able to transform into a gigantic demonic beast. Furthermore, after using your avatar, you can increase your body size to a few tens of kilometers. I'm very curious about it. Please show us, Dragon King. The voice of the third prince of the dragon tribe continued. He took a sip of the dragon spring wine on the table and continued to stare at Wang Xian indifferently. That's right. We would like to see what kind of bloodline it is that allows the Dragon King to possess a talent that surpasses our dragon god. To be able to transform into a huge demonic beast, it must be extraordinary. The members of the dragon tribe who were beside the third prince of the dragon tribe also spoke with curiosity. In the entire hall, everyone's gaze was focused on Wang Xian. It was obvious that they wanted to find out what was going on. When Wang Xian saw that everyone was staring at him and wanted him to transform into his dragon form, a hint of coldness flashed across his eyes. This might be a little inconvenient. I will only transform during a battle. Wang Xian said calmly. His voice reverberated throughout the entire hall. Huh? Wang Xian's words caused the entire hall to turn cold. On the opposite side, more than 20 members of the dragon race had a hint of coldness in their eyes. The coldness in their eyes was not concealed at all. They sat up slightly and looked down at Wang Xian. In the middle of the hall, the Dragon King frowned slightly. A hint of displeasure flashed in his eyes. Since I will only transform during a battle, that's simple. One of the members of the dragon race would like to consult the Dragon King. At this moment, the elder of the dragon clan who was sitting beside the Dragon King suddenly spoke. He looked at everything calmly and gave an order. Yes, elder. The members of the dragon clan immediately nodded respectfully. More than 20 members of the dragon palace looked at each other. Among them, the third prince, who was the most powerful, was only at the third level of longevity. He was much weaker than the Dragon King. However, this was just a lesson. Even if the Dragon King was at the 6th level of longevity, they were not afraid at all. Aku Shui Lai, come on. You are the Dragon King and the other party is also the Dragon King. Let's talk to the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. The third prince of the Dragon Clan suddenly said to a member of the Dragon Clan who had not transformed. Haha, it's the third prince. It's my honor to be able to fight against the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. I'm also the Dragon King now. Come on, Dragon King, let's spar. Boom. The half-step longevity water dragon flapped his wings and flew directly to the center of the hall. He raised his head slightly and spoke to Wang Xian. When the group of dragons saw this scene, their faces were filled with smiles. Chapter 1762. 1762. The 1762 Dragon Clan was the master of the extraordinary mainland. The Dragon King of the Dragon Clan versus the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. The members of the Dragon Clan didn't feel that there was anything wrong with the appearance of a dragon from the Dragon Clan to fight the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. In their opinion, since they were both Dragon Kings, it was a good opportunity for them to spar with each other. The Dragon Emperor raised his eyebrows when he saw that there was only one Dragon King fighting, but he didn't say anything. Although he was the leader of the Draconid Empire, he did not have the right to order the members of the Dragon Clan. Even when facing the third prince of the Dragon Clan, he had to treat him warmly. As for the elder of the Dragon Clan beside him, he had to treat him even more respectfully. A single sentence from the Dragon Clan could turn him, the Dragon Emperor, into a stray dog. He had a clear understanding of the power of the Dragon Clan. Kushuelai exuded the dragon might belonging to the Dragon Clan as he stared at Wang Xian. Facing an expert who was much stronger than him, he did not have the slightest fear. This Dragon King is not giving face to the lords of the Dragon Clan. He even asked our Lord Dragon King to make a move. Haha, this Dragon King of the Dragon Palace is still sensible. Otherwise, how could he call himself the Dragon King? This means that he is still full of respect for the Dragon Clan. At the back of the ceremony, the experts of the Draconid Empire weren't too surprised to see this scene. They didn't even feel that something was wrong because their dragon race was supreme. The experts of the Draconid Empire even guessed that the master of the Dragon Palace called himself the Dragon King because he was afraid of the dragon race. Otherwise, with his strength, he wouldn't have addressed himself as the Dragon King. Instead, he would have addressed himself as the Dragon King. Of course, if the leader of the Dragon Palace addressed himself as the Dragon King, the Dragon Kings of the Dragon Clan would definitely teach him what a real Dragon King was. Wang Xian's eyes flashed coldly when he saw the half-step longevity Dragon King, whom he could kill with one hand, provoking him. He took a sip of the dragon spring wine gently. Half-step longevity Dragon King, I'm afraid it's not worth my time. Wang Xian put down the wine cup and said indifferently, What? When Kushuelai heard Wang Xian's words, he was slightly stunned. A hint of anger flashed in his eyes. What? Dragon King, are you looking down on me? I, Kushuelai, am the dignified Dragon King of the Dragon Clan. As he spoke, streams of water rippled on his body and a cold aura rushed towards Wang Xian. Pa. Wang Xian stood up gently and looked at the Dragon King. He said indifferently, Dragon King, if there's nothing else, I will take my leave. Voila. After he finished speaking, the Dragon King frowned and stood up. He stared at Wang Xian coldly. Damn it, Dragon King, are you looking down on me? However, at this moment, a hint of coldness appeared in the eyes of the aqua dragon standing in the middle. He let out a low growl and his body gradually enlarged. He turned into a 6-meter-long aqua dragon. He spread his huge wings slightly and stared at Wang Xian coldly. A guy who is half a step away from longevity dares to provoke me again and again. A hint of coldness flashed across Wang Xian's eyes. With a flick of his finger, a destructive force was directed at him. Bang! What? Before the aqua dragon could even react, his body was sent flying backward and smashed heavily toward the group of dragons. In the main hall, the faces of the dragons and draconids changed slightly. In an instant, everyone stood up and stared at Wang Xian with murderous intent. The aqua dragon landed on the table and spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. His eyes were filled with fear. You. He widened his eyes and stared at Wang Xian in shock and anger. You dare to hurt my dragon disciple? The dragon elder beside the dragon emperor also stood up slowly. He stared at Wang Xian and shouted coldly, You still want to spar with me with such strength? Wang Xian's expression turned cold as well. He finally knew today that the Draconid Empire did not invite him here to be their guest. Instead, they wanted to understand his bloodline and why he was able to reach level 6 of longevity so quickly. However, the Draconid Empire and the dragon race were all high and mighty. They did not put him in their eyes at all. A dragon king from the dragon race actually wanted to spar with him. So you want to spar with me, the Dragon King? I'm afraid that I might accidentally kill you after I make my move. The old man beside the Dragon King slowly stood up. An incomparably terrifying pressure spread towards Wang Xian. The old man from the dragon race stood up. He was more than 2 meters tall and was extremely sturdy. He had huge dragon horns and a 2-meter-long dragon tail. Behind him, streams of water condensed into a 10-meter-long water dragon. The elder of the dragon clan stared at Wang Xian from above. He was like a god who was looking down on the ants in the human world. His strength of level 7 of longevity was completely unleashed. Dragon King, the dragon clan is the master of the transcendental continent. Anyone who hurts the disciples of the dragon clan will have to pay a heavy price, even if you are the master of the dragon palace. However, a master of the dragon palace is still an ant in the eyes of the dragon race. Now, kneel down and apologize to the disciple of the dragon race. Apologize sincerely. Your dragon palace can join the Draconid Empire and send your subordinates to kill the powerhouses of the Aoshan Empire to atone for your crimes. The Dragon King saw the Dragon King's fury and spoke to Wang Xian calmly. Wang Xian smiled when he saw this scene. The dragon race, the master of the supernatural continent. Kneel down and apologize. Atone for his crimes? And he even acted as though it was a matter of course. As expected of the high and mighty dragon race who looked down on everyone. Kneel down and apologize. On the opposite side, the third prince of the dragon race swung his body and swept his dragon tail behind him. His dragon tail, which was more than a meter long, became dozens of meters long and swept towards Wang Xian's legs. Pa! Ha! Wang Xian extended his hand slowly and grabbed the dragon tail of the third prince of the dragon race. A hint of killing intent could be seen in his eyes. He raised his head and stared at the son of the Dragon King. Dragon King, 5 days ago you sent someone to deliver the invitation letter. I, the Dragon King, rushed over without hesitation. However, is this how you treat your guests? Do you really think that I, the Dragon King, am easy to bully? Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he questioned the Dragon King coldly. He didn't want to be enemies with the Draconid Empire. However, if the other party were to bully him, Wang Xian wasn't afraid at all. So what if it was the Draconid Empire? So what if it was the dragon race? So what if it was the god of the dragon race? After a few years of cultivation, he would definitely be able to drag the dragon race down to the netherworld. How dare a half-dragon seed bully a true dragon? Let go of me. Before the son of the Dragon King, could reply, the third prince of the dragon race saw his dragon tail being grabbed and let out an angry roar. His body moved and transformed into a fire dragon that was more than 10 meters in size. The scorching flames poured directly towards Wang Xian. Dragon King, if you dare to make a move again, I won't be able to save you. The Dragon King saw the third prince of the dragon race's attack that was filled with anger. He glanced at him coldly and stared at Wang Xian as he warned him. Die. Arrogance, and superiority. He had to pay the price of death. Chapter 1763. 1763 Dragon Slayer 1763. Die. When the son of the Dragon Emperor, said that he couldn't save him, the killing intent in Wang Xian's heart was completely unleashed. He looked at the dragon flames that were attacking him with a cold gaze. His body trembled slightly. At the same time, he held the tail of the third prince of the dragon race. A wave of destructive power rushed towards the third prince of the dragon race. The destructive force instantly rushed into the body of the third prince of the dragon race. Roar. No, don't kill me, no. Don't. A terrified voice came from the third prince of the dragon race. As he felt the destructive energy in his body, his face was filled with despair. He stared at Wang Xian and his body was trembling non-stop. Haha, the Draconid Empire and the dragon race. Do you really think that I, the Dragon King, am easy to bully? Wang Xian revealed a wanton expression. A domineering aura that was above everything was emitted from his body. The powerful dragon aura caused the expressions of the son of the Dragon Emperor, and the other Dragon Emperor to change drastically. What? He actually dared to kill the third prince of the dragon race. Damn it, they actually dared to kill the lord of the dragon race. When Wang Xian made his move, the third prince of the dragon clan screamed in terror and despair. This caused everyone in the main hall to have a drastic change in expression. More than 20 members of the dragon clan were stunned. They never expected that someone would actually dare to kill members of their dragon clan. They were the dragon clan, the master of the extraordinary mainland. They were an invincible existence. What a great dragon king. He dared to kill members of our dragon clan. Our dragon clan will kill every single member of your dragon palace. The dragon king was slightly taken aback by Wang Xian's furious attack. Following that, a violent aura surged out from his body. Dragon King, you are courting death. The son of the Dragon King, let out a furious roar. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace actually dared to kill the Dragon Clan. How dare he do such a thing? This was unforgivable. Unforgivable. Boom. The Dragon King of the Dragon race extended his arms and transformed into a dragon claw. His body transformed into a 30-meter-long flaming dragon. The terrifying flames caused the entire hall to tremble. If it wasn't for the Grand Hall, the Dragon King of the Dragon race might have collapsed the moment he transformed. The brutal flames attacked Wang Xian directly. A puny level 6 longevity expert dares to disobey the orders of the Dragon race and kill a disciple of the Dragon race. Do you know that no one has dared to kill a disciple of the Dragon race for more than 100,000 years? The majestic and domineering voice came from the Dragon King's mouth. The flames swept past and even the air was burning. Then I shall be a dragon slayer today. When Wang Xian saw the terrifying flames attacking him, his face also revealed a terrifying killing intent. At this moment, the powerful aura of level 8 longevity was fully unleashed. His body moved, and one of his arms turned into a dragon claw that was more than 10 meters in size and flew towards the Dragon King. Boom, 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 boom. An extremely loud sound rang out, accompanied by the sound of the palace being shattered. Wang Xian's dragon claws grabbed onto the body of the Dragon King. His sharp claws contained the metal attribute, the fire attribute, the wood attribute, the water attribute, and the earth attribute. With a swipe of his claws, he pierced through the body of the Dragon King. Roar! No! The Dragon King felt the rapid loss of life force in his body and felt the terrifying strength of Wang Xian. he screamed in horror. Dragon blood continued to drip down. His eyes were filled with shock and disbelief. Cough, cough, cough. You are not the longevity 6. He opened his mouth unwillingly and coughed non-stop. Streams of dragon blood flowed out as he shouted. However, before he could finish his sentence, he lost all his life force. No, how is this possible? The Dragon King was killed. The Dragon King was actually killed. You are not at the 6th level of longevity. Below them, everyone from the Draconid Empire, the members of the dragon race, and even the Dragon King, the son of the dragon, looked at this scene in horror as they shouted in shock. Especially the Dragon King. When he saw Wang Xian killing a Dragon King who was at the 7th level of longevity without any scruples, his eyes were filled with fear. Dragon King, how dare you? He pointed at Wang Xian and shouted with a face full of fear. Dragon King, I came to the Draconid Empire for your sake, yet you guys are trying to bully me. So what if you are from the dragon race? Today I want to kill a few more dragons. Wang Xian turned around and looked at the Dragon King. The killing intent in his eyes was not concealed at all. Swoosh. He moved his body and attacked the Dragon King directly. Dragon God's protection. When the Dragon King saw Wang Xian who was attacking him, a look of shock appeared on his face. He let out a loud roar and numerous fiery red dragon scales covered his body. Each of the dragon scales contained a terrifying defense. Bam! Wang Xian's dragon claws landed heavily on the dragon scales, but there were no traces left on them. Ha! Wang Xian was slightly shocked. His yin-yang dragon eyes sized up the fiery red dragon scale armor. This is the dragon scale of the god of the dragon race. No matter how strong you are, don't even think about breaking it. Dragon King, you are courting death. The dragon race will not let you off. Even if you escape to the ends of the earth, the dragon race will not let you off. You and your entire dragon palace will be destroyed by the dragon race. The Dragon King's furious roar echoed throughout Dragon City. From the loud bang to the Dragon King's roar, everyone in Dragon City turned their attention to the Dragon Palace. It's the Dragon King's voice. It's the Dragon King's voice. What happened? What happened in the Dragon Palace? The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? It's related to the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. Is the Dragon King courting death? Everyone in the Dragon City was shocked when they heard the voice. The Dragon King was actually making such an angry voice. In the Dragon Hall, the longevity experts and the Dragon City army were flying over. Destroy my Dragon Palace? Then I will start the massacre today. Ah! Wang Xian had a grim look on his face when he heard the Dragon King's words. He stared at the members of the Dragon Clan and the young masters of the Dragon Empire. No, you're a lunatic. How dare you kill our Dragon Clan? When the more than 20 members of the Dragon Clan below felt the terrifying killing intent, all the members of the Dragon Clan revealed terrified expressions. They would never have thought that the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace would dare to kill them. The leader of the Dragon Palace claimed to be the Dragon King. Wasn't he trying to curry favor with the Dragon Clan? Didn't this name mean that he was afraid of the Dragon Clan? Why did he dare to kill a member of the Dragon Clan? Moreover, his strength was enough to kill the Dragon Emperor, who was at level 7 of longevity. More than 20 experts of the Dragon Clan were filled with fear and despair. Chapter 1764. 1764 Below the 1764 Dragon Slayers. The Dragon Race. Do you really think that you bunch of trash from the dragon race have the right to bully me? Wang Xian looked at the more than 20 members of the dragon race who were filled with fear. His face was filled with mockery. The dragon race was very strong, but this did not mean that some of the stinky fish and rotten prawns from the dragon race could flaunt their power in front of him. This was especially so for a Dragon King who was half a step away from longevity. He actually dared to challenge him. He was really used to being arrogant. Die, you bunch of fools. Wang Xian's gaze swept across the more than 20 members of the dragon race. His figure flashed and instantly appeared beside an expert of the dragon race. Roar! Roar! Dragon King, our dragon race will not let you off. Screams of horror rang out one after another. More than 20 members of the dragon race did not have any strength left to resist against Wang Xian. Their powerful strength turned them into corpses one after another. In the main hall, the group of powerhouses from the Draconid Empire and the princes and princesses looked at Wang Xian, who was showing off his might, with a face full of fear. their eyes were filled with fear. Killing the powerhouses of the dragon race in the Dragon Hall of the Draconid Empire. It's your turn. Wang Xian did not stop at all. He waved his dragon claw and the dragon claw formed from the 5 elements energy attacked the powerhouses of the Draconid Empire. Dragon King, save us. No, father, save me. When they saw Wang Xian attacking them, the powerhouses of the Draconid Empire revealed a look of despair on their faces. They quickly cried out for help. Dragon King. When the Dragon King saw this scene, his eyes looked as though they were about to burst. Everyone present today were his trusted aides. They were all his most beloved sons and daughters. Come over quickly. Open the Dragon Clan's formation and call for help from the Dragon Clan's powerhouses. The Dragon King, who was enveloped by the protection of the Dragon God, trembled. He looked at the powerhouses who were flying over and immediately gave an order. What? All the troops and experts of Dragon City who were rushing over were slightly shocked when they heard the Dragon Emperor's order. Opening the Dragon Clan's great formation and asking the Dragon experts for help was a last resort only used when the life and death of the Draconid Empire was at stake. After the Dragon Clan's great formation was opened, it could connect to the Dragon Sea and an endless stream of Dragon experts could be teleported over directly. Yes. The pupils of the few longevity experts contracted slightly. They hurriedly flew towards the mountain peak of the statue of the god of the Dragon Clan in the north. Ha! Wang Xian looked towards the north. He raised his eyebrows and extended his dragon claws that were more than 10 meters in size. The 5 elements millstone slowly appeared on the dragon claws. He waved his arm and the 5 elements millstone attacked the few longevity experts. Damn Dragon King, you will soon know the wrath of the dragon race. When the Dragon King saw Wang Xian's 5 elements millstone, he gritted his teeth and attacked the 5 elements millstone directly. Attack him. All the soldiers attack him immediately. The Dragon King gave an order with a dark face. Gulp. Upon hearing the Dragon King's order, all the soldiers who rushed over gulped. They looked at the Dragon King who was floating in the palace in fear. Even the Dragon King was no match for them. If they were to attack, wouldn't they be courting death? Go. Kill. However, they didn't dare to disobey the order of the Dragon King. Each and every one of the soldiers attacked Wang Xian as though they were ready to die. Courting death. Wang Xian frowned slightly. With a wave of his arm, a grayish river of annihilation shot out and attacked the tens of thousands of soldiers around him. Bang bang bang. A wave of attack swept across and many corpses fell to the ground. No one had the strength to resist at all. Roar roar roar. Just as Wang Xian was about to continue his attack, an earth-shattering dragon roar was heard from the huge mountain peak in the north of Dragon City. Following that, the statue of the god of the dragon race, which was overlooking the entire dragon race, emitted a terrifying majesty. Walala. The sound of the ocean could be heard vaguely from the top of the mountain. Long-distance teleportation, right? Wang Xian looked over and frowned slightly. He was not surprised at all that the Draconid Empire and the dragon race had such long-distance teleportation abilities. My dragon palace will not provoke the Draconid Empire and the dragon race, but we are not afraid of you. If you dare to attack us, we don't mind being a dragon slayer. Wang Xian said coldly and his voice reverberated throughout the entire dragon city. After he finished speaking, he moved and teleported away. Roar. A dragon slayer? No living creature on the entire continent dares to say such words. The dragon race will let you know the consequences of saying such words. Just as Wang Xian left, an incomparably violent voice resounded across the entire sky. One by one huge figures appeared at the peak of the mountain. Fiery fire dragons. Water dragons that were like surging waves. Violent wind dragons. Hundreds of figures of the dragon race appeared at the peak of the mountain. Hiss, the lords of the dragon race have descended. That Dragon King actually dared to kill the dragon race. His crime is unforgivable. The lords of the Dragon Clan have arrived. Kill the Dragon King and destroy the Dragon Palace. In the Dragon City, when all the people heard Long Zhao's voice and saw the hundreds of huge figures on the mountain peak, they all roared with excitement. The Dragon Clan was their faith in their god. Anyone who dared to kill the members of the Dragon Clan would definitely go to the 9 heavens purgatory and suffer a lot of pain. Elder Hua, Elder Shui, Elder Feng. The Dragon Emperor immediately looked at the ruins on the mountain peak and respectfully looked at the 3 elders of the fire, Water and Wind Dragon clan in the lead. Who dares to invade the Draconid Empire? Even your son of dragon can't stop them. The fire god dragon in the center stared at the Dragon Emperor with a pair of majestic eyes and asked in a deep voice. Elder, it's the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. He killed Lord Alfire Ming, the third prince, and more than 20 members of the Dragon clan. He also killed all the powerhouses of my Dragon Empire. He has the power of level 8 longevity. I'm no match for him. If I didn't have Lord Dragon God's protection last time, I might have died at his hands. Under the dignified gaze of the Dragon Elders, the Dragon King reported with cold sweat all over his face. What? The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace killed my members. The flames on Elder Hu's body instantly started to boil. Flames spurted out of his nostrils and his eyes were filled with flames of anger. No one has dared to kill a member of the Dragon clan in the past 100,000 years. The Dragon Palace, the Dragon King, very good. They are the first person to challenge the Dragon clan in the past 100,000 years. Elder Feng, who was green all over, had a terrifying killing intent in his huge eyes. Son of Dragon, find the Dragon Palace immediately. Anyone who dares to kill a member of the Dragon clan will suffer the wrath of the Dragon clan. Issue a dragon killing order. Kill the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace and kill all the members of the Dragon Palace. Elder Fire Dragon roared and gave the order. It had been more than 100,000 years, and no one had dared to challenge the dignity of the Dragon clan for more than 100,000 years. They will let all the creatures on the continent know the consequences of challenging their Dragon clan. Chapter 1765. 1765 Continent Dragon Kill Order. Yes. When the Dragon Emperor heard Elder Hu's angry words, he immediately replied loudly. During these hundreds of thousands of years on the transcendental continent, the Dragon clan had always been the undisputed overlord. They were known as the masters of the continent. During these hundreds of thousands of years, there were reckless creatures and humans who provoked the Dragon clan. At that time, as long as the Dragon clan responded, all the major forces on the continent would immediately surround and annihilate the creatures and humans who provoked the Dragon clan. This order was known as the Continent Dragon Kill Order. Once the Dragon Kill Order was issued, no one could escape the attack of the Dragon clan. The Continent Dragon Kill Order had not been issued for hundreds of thousands of years. Today was the only Continent Dragon Kill Order in hundreds of thousands of years. Issue the order. Today the Dragon clan will issue a kill order. Anyone who meets the Dragon King or members of the Dragon Palace will be killed. Standing on the peak of the mountain, the Dragon King looked at the entire Dragon City and ordered loudly. Roar! Roar! Find the territory of the Dragon Palace. The Dragon clan will lead an army of 1,000,000 transcendents to destroy them. After the Dragon King finished his words, the elder of the Dragon clan raised his head and roared loudly. Kill the Dragon King and destroy the Dragon Palace. Kill them, kill them. Once the Continent Dragon Kill Order is issued, all enemies will die. Roars came from the Dragon City, and all the people roared angrily. Ever since the god of the dragon race wanted to become a god through faith, the entire Draconid Empire viewed the dragon race as a god. Many people in the Draconid Empire were deeply rooted in their hearts and were extremely pious. If someone killed a powerhouse of the dragon race, they would be their enemy. So what if he was the Dragon King? After the mainland's Dragon Kill Order, regardless of whether it was the Dragon King or the Dragon Palace, they would all be reduced to ashes. Damn it. After I shed all pretense of cordiality with the dragon race this time, I might be in trouble next. Wang Xian, who had left the Draconid Empire, frowned slightly. He had never expected to encounter such a situation when he came to the Draconid Empire. He also did not expect that he was at least the leader of one of the top powers on the continent. A dragon who was half a step away from longevity dared to challenge him. With Wang Xian's style, he would naturally not let them off. So what if he was from the dragon race? However, he was afraid that he would have to face the revenge of the dragon race. It's easier to deal with the dragons. However, if they implicate the 9-god empire of the Dragon Phoenix Empire, we will be in trouble. Wang Xian's expression was a little awkward. He was really afraid that countless powerhouses of the dragon race would come and slaughter the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the 9-god empire. Let's go back first. Wang Xian flew quickly toward the imperial capital of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. However, just as Wang Xian was hurrying toward the Dragon Phoenix Empire, a piece of news that shocked everyone came out from the Dragon Man Empire. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace has killed more than 20 members of the dragon race in Dragon City, along with more than 10,000 soldiers of the Dragon Man Empire. The dragon race has issued a dragon kill order. The dragon race has issued a dragon kill order. They want to kill the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace completely. The news quickly spread to the Aoshan Empire, the Nine God Empire, and the Dragon Phoenix Empire. More than 20 experts of the dragon race were killed by the Dragon King. This news shocked everyone. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, a peerless expert who had just risen, was a terrifying existence who had destroyed the 10,000 monster empire in the Phoenix dynasty. Now he had killed more than 20 dragon experts in the Dragon City. This shocked everyone. Especially when everyone heard the dragon killing order, their bodies couldn't help but tremble. Once the dragon killing order was announced, it would represent the Dragon Clan's judgment. The Dragon Clan's judgment was the same as the Death God's judgment. The Dragon King dared to kill members of the Dragon Clan. It's been a long time since anyone dared to provoke the Dragon Clan. This Dragon King is really awesome. He even dared to provoke members of the Dragon Clan. It seems that no one has dared to provoke the Dragon Clan for more than 100,000 years. This Dragon King. After everyone received this news, their eyes widened slightly. Although the Dragon Palace was very powerful against the Dragon Clan, how could the Dragon King fight against the Dragon Clan that had dominated the Transcendence continent for hundreds of thousands of years? The Dragon Palace and the Dragon King are doomed. Some people thought to themselves. Feng Yuan. In the Phoenix Palace of the Dragon Phoenix Empire, Wang Xian teleported directly to the Imperial Study Room after he arrived. Little Xian, why are you back so soon? Feng Yuan was stunned for a moment before she stood up immediately. Something happened. I killed more than 20 powerhouses of the dragon race in Dragon City. Wang Xian sat at the side and said directly. What? Feng Yuan was slightly shocked when she heard Wang Xian's words. She stood up instantly and stared at Wang Xian. Her eyes were filled with shock. The news had yet to reach Feng Yuan. She didn't know about the dragon kill order on the continent. I'm a little worried that the Dragon Clan will implicate you. Wang Xian frowned slightly. You've killed more than 20 members of the Dragon Clan. With the Dragon Clan's character of taking revenge for every flaw, they will definitely mobilize the entire Dragon Clan to take revenge. Feng Yuan frowned slowly. I'm not sure if the Dragon Clan will bring along the Dragon Phoenix Empire or even the Nine God Empire. However, it's best for you to hide now, little Xian. The location of the Dragon Palace is very secretive. The Dragon Clan wouldn't have thought that the Dragon Palace is in the Sea of Transcendence. However, it's not a good idea to continue hiding. Wang Xian said directly, I'm not worried about the safety of the Dragon Palace. It's just that the Dragon Phoenix Empire and... As he spoke, his eyes sparkled. He was very familiar with the strength of the Dragon Clan. It would be a piece of cake for him to destroy the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Nine Gods Empire. Reporting to the Empress, an urgent message has arrived. At this moment, Feng Yun came in a hurry and spoke anxiously. When she saw Wang Xian inside, she was slightly stunned and continued, Empress, it's about the Dragon King. As Feng Yun spoke, she handed over a communication stone plate. Continent Dragon Kill Order. After Feng Yuan read the message, her expression turned ugly. Dragon Kill Order. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he walked over and scanned the contents. Interesting. Looking at the message, Wang Xian's eyes flashed with a cold glint. Sorry for the trouble. Feng Yuan frowned as she looked deep in thought. Since the Dragon Clan has issued this Dragon Kill Order, Feng Yuan, give the order to cut ties with me first to prevent the Dragon Clan from implicating you guys. Wang Xian hesitated for a moment and said directly. No, Alright, listen to me. You should know that based on the current situation of the Dragon Palace, although they are not a match for the Dragon Clan, they are not too fearful. As long as they don't implicate your Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Nine God Empire, I am not worried about the so-called Dragon Kill Order. Feng Yuan heard his words and spoke immediately. However, before she could finish her sentence, she was interrupted by Wang Xian. This? Feng Yuan revealed a hesitant look and nodded her head slowly. Inform Mo Sha to do as he says. Wang Xian continued to speak to Feng Yuan. All right. Feng Yuan nodded her head and gestured to Feng Yun. Chapter 1766. 1766 joined the battlefield of the Aoshan Empire. Now that the Dragonmen Empire and the Aoshan Empire are at war, the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Nine Gods Empire will only put on a show. On the mainland, there will not be any powerful forces participating in the mainland's Dragon Kill Order. However, the dragon race owns the entire extraordinary sea. The number of demonic beasts and ferocious beasts there are terrifying. Xiao Xian, you have to tell the members of the Dragon Palace to be careful. Feng Yuan reminded Wang Xian. I know that. Wang Xian nodded. The power of the dragon race was not on the mainland, but in the extraordinary sea. The number of demonic beasts and ferocious beasts in the entire extraordinary sea was at least a few billion or even tens of billions. There were hundreds of thousands of demonic beasts and ferocious beasts at the void interpretation level. They were all subordinates of the dragon race and listened to the orders of the dragon race. By the way, how is the war between the Draconid Empire and the Aoshan Empire? Wang Xian suddenly asked Feng Yuan. It's very tragic. This morning, I received news that the Draconid Empire had broken into a city of the Aoshan Empire and massacred more than 20 million people in the city. Regardless of men, women, young and old, not a single one of them was spared. According to the news, this matter had infuriated the entire Aoshan Empire. The current overlord of the Aoshan Empire, Ao Baiming, had directly sent the mountain-moving tribe of the Aoshan Empire to join the battle. Feng Yuan said to Wang Xian with a solemn expression. Directly slaughtering more than 20 million people in the entire city was a rare occurrence. Unless there was a deep hatred, they would not do such a thing. Is that so? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows. Why did the Draconid Empire suddenly attack the Aoshan Empire? They should know that the Aoshan Empire had the great Emperor of Aoshan overseeing it. With the strength of the great Emperor of Aoshan, it was obvious that even the dragon race was afraid of him. If he really angered the great Emperor of Aoshan, what benefits would there be? I'm going to the Aoshan Empire. Wang Xian said to Feng Yuan. Oh, little Xian, what are you thinking? Feng Yuan was slightly stunned and looked at him in astonishment. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I met Emperor Aoshan once and he's not a bad person. Let's go and take a look. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled. Since the dragon race has issued the Dragon Kill Order, I will naturally not sit still and wait for my death. Be careful. Feng Yuan extended her hand slightly and placed it on Wang Xian's shoulder as she whispered. Haha, don't worry. It's just the dragon clan. In a few years, I will definitely annihilate the entire dragon clan. Wang Xian laughed out loud as a strong sense of confidence appeared on his face. He placed his hand on Feng Yuan's shoulder slowly. As he felt her soft shoulder, he couldn't help but pinch it. Get lost. Feng Yuan felt his unruly hand. Her face turned cold as she shouted coldly. Be careful. Wang Xian chuckled and disappeared. Humph. Seeing that Wang Xian had disappeared, Feng Yuan touched her shoulder. An imperceptible flush flashed across her face. She took a few deep breaths and a determined look appeared in her eyes. I can't rely on little Xian for everything. I must also raise my strength as soon as possible. Feng Yuan's eyes flashed with contemplation. The Aoshan Empire was located at the center of the continent, the empire with the longest history on the transcendent continent. The entire Aoshan Empire occupied the most vast and prosperous region. The Aoshan Empire's name originated from 11 mountains. Each of the mountains covered an area of 100 kilometers and was about 100,000 meters tall. The mountains were the pride of the sky. In terms of strength, if one didn't count the dragons behind the Draconid Empire, the Aoshan Empire was undoubtedly number one. Wang Xian spent 2 days to arrive above the 11 mountains of the Aoshan Empire. Looking at the terrifying mountains in front of him, he was extremely shocked. These 11 mountains seemed to hold up the sky of the extraordinary continent. Among the mountains, demonic birds flew one after another. The mountains that penetrated deep into the clouds looked like celestial mountains. This was the most majestic and magnificent mountain peak that Wang Xian had ever seen. As he approached the 11 mountains, Wang Xian's dragon eyes of yin-yang and the 5 elements flickered as he searched for traces of the Aoshan Emperor. I found him. Wang Xian looked at the peak of the mountain in the middle. He could vaguely see more than 10 figures shrouded in earthy yellow energy. One of the figures was the great Emperor of Aoshan. It seemed that the attack of the Draconid Empire had slaughtered the entire city and had caught the attention of the great emperor of Ao Shan. I am Wang Xian, and I am here to pay my respects to Senior Great Emperor of Ao Shan. Wang Xian thought to himself and directly transmitted his voice to the peak of the mountain. Ha! At the peak of the main peak of Ao Shan, everyone was slightly shocked when Wang Xian's voice was transmitted into the palace. Who is it? An old man stood up immediately with a cold glint in his eyes. Oh! The great emperor of Ao Shan, who was sitting in the middle, raised his eyebrows slightly. He looked at the divine weapon of the towering mountain in his hand and waved his hand at the people in front of him, telling them not to act rashly. My young friend Dragon King, please come in. The great emperor of Ao Shan called out softly. Sorry to disturb you. When Wang Xian heard the great emperor of Ao Shan's words, a smile appeared on his face as he flew over directly. Dragon King? When they heard the name that the great emperor of Ao Shan called out, the other people in the palace were slightly shocked. They had heard about this name like thunder recently. Especially the news that they had received not long ago, it made them feel extremely shocked. Haha, may I know why my young friend Dragon King is here? I just received the news. My young friend Dragon King is really fierce. Are you looking for an old fellow like me to come and seek protection? When the emperor of Ao Shan saw Wang Xian, he was obviously in a good mood. He smiled as he spoke and there was a hint of mockery in his tone. There's no need for protection. Let's talk about it when the dragon race can find the residence of my dragon palace. Even if they can find it, I'm not afraid. It's just that it's not my style to hide blindly. If they want to destroy my dragon palace, I naturally have to fight with them. Wang Xian thought to himself and laughed out loud. Ah, good. I like your temper. In the past, I was worried that you would join the dragon clan. Now it seems like... Ah. Emperor Ao Shan laughed out loud. His face was filled with relief. The last time he took the initiative to meet Wang Xian, the main reason was to prevent him from joining the dragon tribe. After all, the current Wang Xian could completely represent the three major forces. Even Emperor Ao Shan had to be wary of this force. When he received the Dragon King's order to kill the members of the dragon tribe not long ago, he was actually happy to see it. Senior, I have something to say. It's a little strange for the Draconid Empire to have a war with your Ao Shan Empire. The dragon tribe must be behind it, right? If we really want to fight, do you need help? Wang Xian was straightforward. The main reason why he came to the Ao Shan Empire was because of the alliance. The great emperor of Ao Shan had the power to fight against the god of the dragon race. As long as the great emperor of Ao Shan was able to restrain the strongest power of the dragon race, Wang Xian could use this period of time to increase his strength until he finally had the strength of the great emperor of Ao Shan. When that time came, he could kill the god of the dragon race. Chapter 1767. 1767 Alliance 1767. If the Draconid Empire didn't have the command of the dragon race, they wouldn't dare to attack our Ao Shan Empire. Emperor Ao Shan looked at the confident expression on his face and Wang Xian, who was fearless even when faced with the dragon kill token of the continent. His face was filled with admiration. The invasion of the Draconid Empire this time is obviously well prepared. Moreover, this time they are obviously much crueler. They look like demonic beasts attacking the city. They massacred the entire city and collected all the fresh blood with a formation. It's very strange. Emperor Ao Shan continued to speak as he frowned slowly. Collecting fresh blood? Some demonic beasts can increase their strength through fresh blood. What about the dragon race? Wang Xian revealed a hint of doubt on his face. The bloodline of the dragon race was considered top-notch in the Transcendence continent. They did not need to use fresh blood to increase their strength. Those damn traitors of the Dragonman Empire have completely become the lackeys of the dragon race. They massacred more than 20 million people in the city. We cannot let them off so easily. A burly old man from the Ao Shan Empire shouted coldly from a side seat. No matter what schemes they have, since they want to fight, we will beat them mercilessly. A hint of viciousness appeared on the face of the Emperor of Ao Shan. His eyes were suppressing the crazy killing intent. My young friend Dragon King, you are now being hunted by the dragon race. Since that's the case, let's form an alliance with the Ao Shan Empire. With me in charge, as long as the dragon race doesn't have the confidence to kill me, they will not fight us to the death. The Emperor of Ao Shan looked at Wang Xian proudly and looked at him with a burning gaze. Hee hee. When Wang Xian heard the invitation from the Emperor of Ao Shan, a wild smile appeared on his face. This time I came to look for Senior because I want to form an alliance with you guys. If the dragon race dares to release the dragon kill order to destroy me, I will dare to fight them to the end. Little friend Dragon King is the first one to be so calm when facing the dragon race. The Emperor of Ao Shan was slightly moved when he saw Wang Xian's expression. The rest of the experts from the Ao Shan Empire were also looking at him in astonishment. It had been a long time since any faction on the continent dared to fight against the dragon race in such a manner. Even their Ao Shan Empire had to rely on Emperor Ao Shan and the divine weapon when they faced the terrifying dragon race. Before the dragon race kills me, they don't dare to fight to the death. Since that's the case, we can announce the alliance directly. Dragon King, you can bring the disciples of the Dragon Palace to the territory of our Ao Shan Empire. This time I will cause the entire Draconid Empire to suffer heavy losses. The eyes of the great Emperor of Ao Shan flashed as he spoke to Wang Xian. A hint of ruthlessness appeared on his face. As someone who had lived for 17,000 to 18,000 years, the great Emperor of Ao Shan could rely on his divine weapon to fight against the god of the dragon race. He was also furious about the massacre of the Draconid Empire. Even a clay figurine was angry, let alone him, Emperor Ao Shan. The Dragon Palace has not reached the point where we need to rely on the Ao Shan Empire. I will bring my subordinates here in a few days. Wang Xian smiled and shook his head as he spoke to Emperor Ao Shan directly. The Ao Shan Empire will always welcome the Dragon Palace. In a few days, we will be here to welcome the experts from the Dragon Palace. The great Emperor of Ao Shan nodded his head. In that case, Senior, I will make a trip back to the Dragon Palace first. As Wang Xian spoke, he cupped his hands at the great Emperor of Ao Shan. Alright, I'll be waiting for you again. The great Emperor of Ao Shan cupped his hands at Wang Xian with a smile on his face. Okay. Wang Xian nodded his head and disappeared in an instant. This Dragon King is so strong. He should be at level 8 of longevity. Wasn't he at level 6 of longevity when he fought against the Nine Heavens demonic bird? How did he advance by 2 levels so quickly now? Looking at Wang Xian's disappearing figure, a middle-aged man holding an earthy yellow hammer said in surprise. Let's not talk about anything else. Nobody in the entire continent dares to kill more than 20 dragon race powerhouses in Dragon City and make the Dragon King seek help from the dragon race in fear. A few burly elders beside him showed a hint of admiration in their eyes. Not long ago I saw his strength. At that time, his strength was indeed at level 6 of longevity. I really didn't expect him to advance so quickly. Level 8 of longevity is almost catching up to me. Emperor Ao Shan also sighed and said with a faint smile, however, he is a human. Even though he has established such a powerful force, he is still very low-key. The Empress of the Dragon Phoenix Empire that he supports is very good at governing the country. The name of the Eternal Empress is well-deserved. The Dragon King is a friend but not an enemy. Baiming, go and announce that the Ao Shan Empire has formed an alliance with the Dragon Palace. The Ao Shan Emperor looked at the middle-aged man holding the earthy yellow hammer and said with a smile. Yes, grandfather. Ao Baiming nodded immediately. Patriarch, the Ao Shan Empire and the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace have announced an alliance, and the relationship between the Nine God Empire and the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Dragon King is also very close. I'm afraid that the Dragon Kill Order of the Dragon Race will become a joke. An old man said with a smile on his face. This is the most united time in the history of the human race. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Emperor Ao Shan mumbled as his eyes lit up. But no matter what, this is the best outcome for the human race. Wang Xian left the Ao Shan Empire and flew in the direction of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. His trip to the Ao Shan Empire was exceptionally smooth. The Ao Shan Empire wanted to announce their alliance with the Dragon Palace. This was undoubtedly an announcement to the entire continent. They stood on the side of the Dragon Palace. Since the Ao Shan Empire has made their announcement, there's no need for the Dragon and Phoenix Empire and the Nine Gods Empire to express their goodwill to the dragon race. Wang Xian thought to himself as he flew quickly. 2 days later, Wang Xian returned to the Phoenix Palace of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. How is it, little Xian? Feng Wan asked immediately when she saw Wang Xian entering. It's going very smoothly. You might receive news of the alliance between the Ao Shan Empire and the Dragon Palace very soon. Wang Xian smiled and said to her. Is that so? That's great. In that case, there's no need for the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Nine Gods Empire to express their stance. With the presence of Emperor Ao Shan, the dragon race cannot fight to the death with the entire human race. Feng Yuan's eyes lit up. That's right. The Ao Shan Empire clearly understands this as well. This time, the Dragonman Empire's cruelty has thoroughly infuriated Emperor Ao Shan and the rest. Wang Xian nodded and continued to speak to Feng Yuan. I will lead some members of the Dragon Palace to the Ao Shan Empire. You and the Nine God Empire should not participate in this for now. Alright, I will inform Imo Sha again. Feng Yuan nodded. Alright, pay attention to the movements of the dragons and other creatures in the supernatural sea. I will head to the Dragon Palace first. Wang Xian gave some instructions to Feng Yuan and flew towards the Dragon Palace. When Wang Xian returned to the Dragon Palace, two pieces of news spread across the entire supernatural continent. The Aoshan Empire announced that they had formed an alliance with the Dragon Palace. Faced with the mainland's Dragon Kill Order, the Nine Gods Empire and the Dragon Phoenix Empire remained silent. Chapter 1768 1768 Dragon Palace's Strength. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace has just killed more than 20 members of the Dragon Clan, and the Dragon Clan has already issued the Continent Dragon Kill Order, and the Aoshan Empire has formed an alliance with it? What does this mean? The Nine God Empire and the Dragon Phoenix Empire have such a deep relationship with the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, and they have no reaction at all when faced with the Continent Dragon Kill Order. Oh my god, the two empires and the Aoshan Empire are completely ignoring the Continent Dragon Kill Order. Almost all of the human empires are on the Dragon King's side. I'm afraid that the Dragon Kill Order will become a joke. When the news of the alliance between the Aoshan Empire and the Dragon Palace spread out, the entire continent was in an uproar. It was especially true for some ordinary forces and members of mercenary groups. In history, once the Dragon Clan issued the Dragon Kill Order, the entire continent would definitely be in an uproar. In order to curry favor with the Dragon Clan, the major empires had mobilized all their forces to encircle and annihilate the people who issued the Dragon Kill Order. Now it had been 5 or 6 days since the Dragon Kill Order was issued. The Ao Shan Empire had announced an alliance with the Dragon Palace, and the other two empires had completely ignored it. This made the Dragon Kill Order become a joke. If the Dragon Clan can't kill the Dragon King and the others this time, the prestige of the Dragon Clan will be lowered to the extreme. Maybe even the Dragon Clan didn't expect that no faction would care about their Dragon Kill Order. Some people murmured. The influence of the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace was felt by everyone. All the humans on the continent were filled with respect for the Dragon King, the Dragon Slayer. After all, he was the only existence who dared to kill the Dragon Clan for hundreds of thousands of years. It was also the only existence who made the continent's dragon killing token into a joke. The Transcendence continent hasn't been peaceful recently. First, the Phoenix Dynasty and the 10,000 Fey Empire were destroyed, the Empress returned, the Dragon Palace and the Dragon Phoenix Empire rose up, the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace killed the members of the Dragon race, and the Draconid Empire attacked the Aoshan Empire. Some people thought of the events that had happened in the past few months and sighed. When the continent was in such turmoil, it was very difficult for them to stay on their own. In particular, the confrontation between all the top human forces and the dragon race on the extraordinary continent made many people extremely worried. However, there were also people who were discussing that this time, it might not be a bad thing for the entire human race. During the hundreds of thousands of years when the dragon race dominated the extraordinary continent, the dragon race became the master of the continent. Anyone who provoked them, even the empire, was directly destroyed. When the dragon race came to any city, they were like gods descending. Even if they massacred the entire city, no one dared to say anything. The dragon race had always been a synonym for cruelty and tyranny. Now that they saw the top human forces fighting against the dragon race, some people were hoping that they could really overturn the hundreds of thousands of years of rule of the dragon race. However, most people were still filled with fear towards the dragon tribe. Prime Minister Gue gathered the Dragon Spur Division, the Dragon Guard, the Heavenly Eye Arrow Division, the Demon War Division, and the Mount Division. At this moment, in the Dragon Palace of the Extraordinary Sea. When Wang Xian arrived at the Dragon Palace, he immediately gave an order to Prime Minister Gue. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Gui immediately replied respectfully. Little Xian, you must be careful this time. After all, you are fighting against the dragon race. A group of girls walked over with a hint of worry on their faces. When the dragon kill order was given, Wang Xian ordered all of them to return to the dragon palace. The group of girls also knew the current situation. Faced with the powerful dragon race, they were very worried about Wang Xian's safety. Don't worry. I'll bring some people to the Ao Shan Empire. With the presence of the great emperor of Ao Shan, they won't dare to do anything to me. Moreover, even without the Ao Shan Empire and the great emperor of Ao Shan, we don't have to fear the dragon race at all. Wang Xian touched the faces of the girls so that they didn't have to worry. Little Xian, you have to pay attention to your safety too. After all, the other party is a dragon. The group of girls emphasized again and again. Wang Xian nodded with a smile. Dragon King, all the members of the 5 great combat divisions have arrived. At this moment, Prime Minister Gui's voice was heard. Behind Prime Minister Gui, all the disciples of the 5 great combat divisions had arrived. The 5 great combat divisions were half the strength of the Dragon Palace. Furthermore, they were the 5 strongest combat divisions. The leaders of the 5 combat divisions possessed the realm of level 3 longevity, allowing them to fight against those who were 1 level above them. 10 people of level 1 longevity. 40 people of half-step longevity. In other words, there were more than 50 people who possessed the combat strength of the longevity realm. With more than 50 longevity experts, they could completely crush the Ao Shan Empire in terms of numbers. Prepare the disciples of the 5 great combat divisions. Follow me on the expedition. Wang Xian's gaze swept across Ao Jian, Ao Qitian, and the rest as he shouted in a deep voice. Yes. More than 10,000 disciples of the 5 major combat divisions responded loudly immediately. Let's go. Wang Xian moved his body and 9 flood dragons flew over while pulling the throne. After giving a signal to the group of girls, Wang Xian sat on the dragon throne and flew out of the dragon palace immediately. 9 flood dragons of the 3rd level of longevity were pulling the dragon throne while the disciples of the 4 major combat divisions were riding the members of the Mount Division behind them. The Fire Phoenix dragon was one of the more advanced dragon species. They had bodies that were more than 10 to 20 meters long. Their heads were like that of a Kirin, and they had a pair of huge flaming wings. They were extraordinary and extraordinary. A group of demon monkeys, dragon guards, and members of the Heavenly Eye Arrow division of the Demon Combat Division were riding on the Fire Phoenix dragon. They were following behind Wang Xian and were exuding a terrifying aura. The strange demon from the Dragon Spur division hid in the surrounding void space. My God, what a terrifying aura. Look at the sky, what is that? 9 green longevity level creatures pulling dragon chairs and thousands of experts riding on magical mounts. Those are the warriors of the Dragon Palace and the Dragon Palace. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? Where are they going? The experts of the Dragon Palace were flying in the sky. When they passed by the cities below, they were shocked when they saw such a powerful team. Only the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace could pull the dragon throne with 9 longevity level experts. Wang Xian led the warriors of the Dragon Palace forward quickly. The news about the Dragon Palace and the alliance between the Aoshan Empire and the Dragon Clan was also spread to the Dragonmen Empire. Bang! The Aoshan Empire and the Dragon Palace are in an alliance. The 9 God Empire and the Dragon Phoenix Empire are ignoring the Dragon Kill Order on the continent. Good. Are they going to rebel? In the Dragon Palace of Dragon City, the son of the Dragon Emperor, received the news one by one. His face was filled with rage. He slapped the dragon throne heavily, causing the ministers in front to immediately lower their heads. Even if the entire human race was added together, they would still be like ants in front of the dragon race. If it wasn't for Emperor Ao Shan. His face was filled with violent killing intent as his eyes sparkled. Dragon Emperor, according to the information we received, the Dragon King is leading the Dragon Palace's forces towards the Ao Shan Empire. According to our guesses, he should be helping the Ao Shan Empire deal with us. Chapter 1769. 1769 of the Dragon Palace's strength. The Dragon Palace is very strong. They have more than 20 longevity experts. If the Dragon Palace goes to help the Aoshan Empire with our strength, I'm afraid. In the Dragon Palace in Dragon City, the generals and ministers of the Dragon Man Empire reported to the Dragon Emperor. The alliance between the Dragon Palace and the Aoshan Empire was a huge threat to the Dragon Man Empire. The combined strength of the two forces could destroy the entire Draconid Empire. We can't stop attacking the Aoshan Empire. Continue to send more forces. I'll ask the Dragon Lords to attack the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Emperor said coldly and waved his arm, retreat. After saying that, the Dragon Emperor's figure flashed and flew towards the northern mountain peak. Buzz. When he arrived at the mountain peak, his figure flashed and he disappeared from the mountain peak. Crash. The sound of crashing waves could be heard and the Dragon Emperor appeared beside a mountain peak in the Dragon Sea. He flew straight towards the mountain peak in front of him. I'll have to trouble the lords of the Dragon Clan to inform the elders that the son of the dragon wishes to see you. The Dragon Emperor respectfully said to the Dragon Clan who was lying on the mountain peak. Wait a moment. The Dragon Clan member flapped his huge wings and flew back. Son of the dragon, come in. Soon, a voice came from the back and the Dragon Emperor immediately flew over. The son of the dragon greets the elders. At the back of the mountain peak, 5 or 6 elders of the Dragon Clan were lying in the dragon caves. What's the matter? Speak. The elder of the Fire Dragon Clan in the center said to the Dragon Emperor. Elder of the Fire Dragon Clan, the Aoshan Empire and the Dragon Palace have announced an alliance. It seems that the Dragon King has come to help the Aoshan Empire with some powerful people. I'm afraid that our Dragon Man Empire is no match for the alliance of the two forces. The Dragon Emperor came to report directly. Oh, how dare the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace jump around? An extremely hot dragon breath came out of the elder's mouth as he stared at the Dragon Emperor with a pair of furious eyes. The Dragon Palace has arrived at the Aoshan Empire. A water dragon elder frowned and asked the Dragon Emperor. Yes, according to the news, the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace has entered the Aoshan Empire with a group of experts. The Dragon Emperor nodded. The elders of the Dragon Clan looked at each other with hesitation in their eyes. Son of Dragon, have you found the lair of the Dragon Palace? The elder of the Fire Dragon Clan asked with a dark face. Not yet. We have used all the power of the Dragon Man Empire, but we haven't found the location of the Dragon Palace. Moreover, the Nine God Empire and the Dragon Phoenix Empire have a good relationship with the Dragon Palace. They might protect the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Emperor said directly with a dark face. Damn it. If our dragon race attacks the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Nine God Empire directly, it will definitely cause the two empires and the Aoshan Empire to ally together. The divine weapon in Emperor Aoshan's hands is too terrifying. Lord Dragon God said that we can't disturb him for a year, and now our dragon race can't send an army to attack them directly. The Fire Dragon Elder's face was filled with anger. It had been a long time since the dragon race had been so sullen. Now we must first find the Dragon Palace's nest. Once we find it, we will immediately inform them that we will lead 1,000,000 dragon race subordinates and destroy them. Elder Fire Dragon said with a cold gaze. Yes, Elder. We will definitely do our best to find the Dragon Palace's nest. Elder, the war with the Aoshan Empire, we have only collected 1/10 of the blood, there is still a long way to go. The Dragon Emperor immediately bowed and continued. The Dark Nether race and the 10 great demon beast races are at your disposal. Your mission is the most important. Elder Fire Dragon threw 2 tokens over. One was black and the other was similar to a cross. Thank you, Elder. The Dragon Emperor respectfully took the 2 tokens, his eyes shining with joy. Go. This concerns the path of our dragon god to godhood. There must be no mistakes. The elders of the Dragon Clan said. The Dragon Emperor nodded and immediately returned to the Draconid Empire. He looked at the 2 tokens in his hands, his eyes burning with passion. The Dark Nether race, the 10 great demon beast race. Of these 2 races, the Dark Nether was located in the Draconid Empire's territory, but the Draconid Empire did not have the strength to order them. If they wanted to mobilize them, they had to obtain the orders of the Dragon Clan. As for the 10 directional great demons, they were the strongest race in the dragon race. The 10 directional great demons had 10 longevity 4th level demon emperors, and their strength was extremely terrifying. This race lived in the Sea of Transcendence. Regardless of whether it's the Dragon Palace or the Aoshan Empire, they're all ants in front of the dragon race. Anyone who dares to resist will die. The Dragon Emperor's face revealed a sinister expression. Welcome, Dragon King. At this moment, on the mountain of the Ao Shan Empire, Ao Baiming of the Ao Shan Empire and a group of experts from the Ao Shan Empire looked at the Dragon Palace team in front of them and greeted them respectfully. Sorry to disturb you. Wang Xian stood up from the dragon throne. Under the lead of Ao Baiming, he went straight to the peak of the largest mountain. Haha, young friend Dragon King, you are quite fast. The Emperor of Ao Mountain looked at Wang Xian and walked up to him with a smile on his face. Senior, how is the situation at the front line? Wang Xian smiled and asked directly. There haven't been any strong battles in the past few days. However, the Draconid Empire is gathering their forces. Ao Baiming said to Wang Xian from the side. Shall we move now? Wang Xian asked directly. There's no time to lose. Let's take action then. Ao Baiming said directly. Haha, alright. I can't make a move in this situation. My young friend Dragon King, you can discuss everything with Baiming. The great Emperor of Ao Shan said with a smile. Wang Xian nodded. The dragon race didn't dare to rashly send out dragon race experts to attack. The great Emperor of Ao Shan also didn't dare to completely anger the dragon race. If they really angered the dragon race, if they were to fight it out, apart from the Emperor of Ao Baiming, the rest of them would probably die. Both parties were fearful. Dragon King, the troops of the Ao Shan Empire are ready. Let's set off immediately. Ao Baiming looked at Wang Xian and said. All right. Wang Xian nodded and the two of them immediately flew out. Soldiers of the Ao Shan Empire, follow me on my expedition to destroy those bastards from the Draconid Empire. A loud roar came from Ao Baiming's mouth. Ao Baiming, who was tall and sturdy, was holding a sledgehammer in his hand. His body was emitting an extremely thick and heavy aura as though he was a gigantic mountain peak. I shall follow your majesty to kill the enemy. At the foot of the mountain peak below, soldiers who were exuding a powerful aura flew into the sky in unison. At the very front, there were warriors wielding earthen yellow shields. Each and every one of them was incomparably tall and sturdy. Mountain moving, royal, earth shaker and spear sealing. These were the four most powerful legions of the Ao Shan Empire. Each legion had 5,000 profound void martial experts. They were proficient in close combat, defense, control and ranged combat respectively. Behind the 20,000 profound void martial experts, there were 100,000 extraordinary level experts. Facing the provocation and cruelty of the Draconid Empire, the Ao Shan Empire was ready to fight back with all their might. Chapter 1770. 1770 Under the strength of the 1770 Dragon Palace. Roar. The four most powerful legions of the Ao Shan Empire flew over and roared. In the middle of the mountain, an extremely mysterious demonic beast that was covered in thick scales and looked like a pangolin flew over. Its 10-meter-long body gave off an invincible aura. The demonic beast flew under the Ao Shan Emperor and became his mount. Roar, roar, roar. Following that, more and more demonic beasts flew out from the surrounding mountain peaks. There were more than 10,000 of them. Every one of them gave off an aura that wasn't weaker than the profound void tier. The thick earth pangolin was a demonic beast that grew in the 11 mountains of the Ao Shan Empire. It possessed powerful defense and the ability to burrow into the ground. At the same time, the thick earth pangolin also belonged to the Ao Shan Empire's guardian demonic beast. Dragon King, let's go. Ao Baiming was riding on the king of the thick earth pangolin, which was at the 4th level of longevity. His body was already covered in armor. He raised his head slightly and said to Wang Xian. Haha, let's go. Wang Xian's gaze swept across the power of the Ao Shan Empire and laughed out loud. Roar, roar, roar. 9 dragon roars were heard as 9 dragons pulled their dragon chairs over. A group of members from the Dragon Palace rode on the Fire Phoenix dragon seed and followed behind them. Let's go. With Ao Baiming's order, the entire team immediately flew towards the east at a rapid speed. The powerful army exuded a terrifying power. The 9 dragons pulled their dragon chairs and followed behind them. The members of the Dragon Palace followed behind them expressionlessly. Our Emperor has led the 4 legions of the Empire to the battlefield. Mountain moving, royal, earth shaking and spear sealing. These are the most powerful legions of the Ao Shan Empire. So cool. If the 4 legions attack, the Dragon Man Empire will pay a heavy price. Is that the power of the Dragon Palace? They look so powerful. Every member of the Dragon Palace is riding on a powerful mount. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace dared to kill the members of the Dragon Clan. It's said that the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace is very powerful. Below the mountain peak, the people of the Aoshan Empire started to discuss when they saw the army. Some of them looked reverent, while others looked forward to the battle. The army of the Aoshan Empire and the members of the Dragon Palace rushed toward the battlefield. The Dragon Palace is so powerful, especially the mounts. Their auras are terrifying. The soldiers of the Aoshan Empire curiously sized up the members of the Dragon Palace as the two peak forces of the continent traveled together. They felt the faint pressure from the Dragon Palace and were a bit scared. They were more respectful toward this force that dared to kill the members of the Dragon Clan. The border between our Aoshan Empire and the Draconid Empire is right in front of us. Now 2 of our cities have been breached. Upon arriving at the border of the Aoshan Empire, Ao Baiming, the emperor of the Aoshan Empire, said to Wang Xian, "Do we need to fight back immediately?" Wang Xian looked into the distance with a cold look in his eyes. Of course. Since the Draconid Empire dared to slaughter more than 20 million people of our Aoshan Empire, I will repay them with 10 times the amount of fresh blood. Ao Baiming said with a murderous tone. The citizens of the Draconid Empire had complete faith in the dragon race. Even if the dragon race massacred a city, they would still think that the dragon race was great. Facing such citizens of the Draconid Empire, Ao Baiming did not have the slightest bit of compassion. Similarly, Wang Xian did not have the slightest favorable impression of the Draconid Empire. Then let's charge over. A strong killing intent shot out from Wang Xian's eyes. He moved his body and his target was a city in front of him. Before he could get close to the city, he could smell the stench of blood in the air. It was the stench of blood caused by the Draconid Empire slaughtering the entire city. At this moment, a group of Draconid Empire soldiers were guarding the city on the city wall. Kill them all. Don't leave a single one alive. Smelling the bloody smell in the air, Ao Baiming roared with killing intent. Kill? Kill? A resounding killing voice came from the sky. In front of the city, feeling the overwhelming killing intent, all the Draconid Empire soldiers' faces changed dramatically. Enemy attack. Not good, the Emperor of the Aoshan Empire is here with his troops. The one next to him is the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace and his subordinates. We are no match for him. Run. In the city, the Draconid Empire did not receive any information about the sudden attack from the Aoshan Empire and the Dragon Palace. When they saw the experts of the two forces charging over, their faces were filled with shock. Retreat, everyone retreat, retreat back to the Empire. In the city, a shocked and angry voice rang out. One by one, the insightful Emptiness Realm experts soared into the sky and fled towards the east. Leave no one alive. The furious voice of the soldiers of the Aoshan Empire rang out. One by one, the experts rushed over. Heavenly Eye Arrow Division, lock on. Wang Xian looked at the city in front of him. The strength of the Draconid Empire was not very strong. There was only one Longevity Realm expert and more than 1,000 insightful Emptiness Realm experts. There were more than 100,000 ordinary soldiers. Kill every single one of them. Wang Xian ordered immediately. It's the Dragon King. The members of the Heavenly Eye Arrow Division rode on the Fire Phoenix Dragon Seed and spread out. Their bowstrings were drawn to the maximum. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Arrows flew at a speed that was even more terrifying than that of the soldiers of the Aoshan Empire. They shot at the fleeing people in the sky. The weakest member of the Dragon Palace was already at level 5 of the See-Through Realm. He could fight against level 6 of the See-Through Realm. The 1,500 members of the Heavenly Eye Arrow Division could release more than 10 arrows at once. This round of attack was aimed at the group of insightful Void Realm experts who were trying to escape. Puff, puff, puff. The terrifying arrows pierced into the vital parts of every expert of the Dragon Man Empire. In just an instant, all the soldiers of the Dragon Man Empire who were trying to escape were killed. None of them could escape. Even the experts who were half a step away from the Longevity Realm were killed. This archer of the Dragon Palace is so powerful. What sharp arrows. He can lock onto every enemy with 100% accuracy. The experts of the Aoshan Empire who were charging forward were slightly shocked. This was the first time they had seen the sharpness of the Dragon Palace. We can't lose the face of the Aoshan Empire. Brothers, kill them. Trapped city. Boom boom boom. The soldiers of the Aoshan Empire shouted, and huge walls appeared in the sky one after another. The walls combined together and surrounded a city within a radius of 100 kilometers. This scene was like an existence from legends. Earth shaking, earth shaking. Another 10,000 soldiers roared, and the ground began to shake violently. Awe. The ripples covered the entire city, and miserable screams sounded instantly. Aoshan Empire, Dragon Palace, just you wait. An angry roar came from the city, and a figure appeared in the air, flashing. That longevity expert wants to escape. Attack him. The longevity experts of Aoshan Empire frowned slightly when they saw the figure of the expert of the Dragon Empire flashing, searching for enemies in the void. At this moment they heard a cold voice. 3 arrows formed a triangle and sealed the space in front of them. Chapter 1771. 1771 returned blood with blood. What? How is this possible? An angry voice came from above the city. The figure of the longevity-level powerhouse from the Draconid Empire flashed. The old man who was about to teleport away suddenly sensed that he could not teleport out, and his face revealed a shocked and angry expression. He was only a rank 1 longevity-level powerhouse, and the opponent had dozens of longevity-level powerhouses. Ao Baiming, the emperor of the Aoshan Empire, even personally came. If he could not escape immediately, he would die. He had thought that he could escape 100% from such a long distance. However, the 3 arrows could seal the surrounding space, preventing him from teleporting. Wind Dragon Arrows. At this moment, another 3 cold voices sounded. Roar roar roar. The old man from the Draconid Empire raised his head and saw the 3 arrows transform into 3 incomparably terrifying creatures, directly biting towards him. No, activate your domain, Huatian Shield. The old man from the Draconid Empire widened his eyes and roared wildly. He instantly activated his domain, and in front of his body, an incomparably huge shield completely blocked him. Boom boom boom. However, when the first arrow landed on the shield, it shattered it and the second arrow broke through the domain. The third arrow landed on the elder's body. The massive attack caused a huge hole to appear on the elder's chest. The 3 arrows pierced through him. What terrifying archery! The longevity experts of the Aoshan Empire turned their heads and looked at the 3 members of the Heavenly Eye Arrow Division riding on the Fire Phoenix Dragon. Their eyes were filled with shock. The 3 of them had locked onto and killed them in one go. Even if the opponent was a level 1 longevity expert, he couldn't dodge their attacks. How terrifying. The warriors of the Dragon Palace are really strong. Even Ao Baiming looked at the members of the Heavenly Eye Arrow Division with astonishment. Such archery skills were unparalleled in the entire continent. Wang Xian smiled when he heard that. Emperor Ao Shan, give me these corpses from the Draconid Empire. I'll give you the interspatial ring. Corpses? It's useless even if we want the corpses. If the Dragon King wants them, you can take them all. The items in the interspatial ring will be divided equally between the 2 factions. Ao Baiming said directly. All right. Wang Xian nodded. The main reason why he led the soldiers of the Dragon Palace into this war was for the sake of these corpses. Only the corpses of the strong ones, elixirs and spiritual herbs could help the Dragon Palace increase its strength rapidly. Reporting to the Overlord, kill all the enemies. At this moment, the soldiers of the Aoshan Empire came to report. There were only a few 100,000 enemies left in this city. Facing the most elite soldiers of the Aoshan Empire, there was no room for resistance. All of them were killed in less than 5 minutes. Continue, don't go to Shangliu City for the time being. Go to the right and destroy a city of the Draconid Empire. Ao Baiming shouted loudly. The army regrouped and continued to fly in the direction of the Draconid Empire. Let's go. Wang Xian led the members of the Dragon Palace to follow behind. Before they could face the powerhouses of the Draconid Empire, the Aoshan Empire had to destroy at least 1 or 2 cities of the Draconid Empire to avenge their blood feud. Soon, a city appeared in their line of sight. This was the city of the Aoshan Empire. There was no one inside now. It was a complete mess. The army did not stop, they continued to fly towards the east. 3 hours later, another city appeared in their line of sight. A huge dragon arch, a statue of the god of the dragon race in the center of the city. The first city of the Draconid Empire appeared in their line of sight. A city with tens of millions of Draconid citizens. Kill, leave no one alive. Ao Biming roared. Boom. A towering killing intent rose up and covered the entire city. Kill. All the soldiers of the Aoshan Empire charged towards the city of the Draconid Empire with hatred. Enemy attack. Enemy attack. At the first moment, the guards of the Draconid Empire saw the army of the Aoshan Empire charging towards them and roared loudly. Wang. The city protection array was immediately activated. Heaven's burial, Earth's burial, deep burial. The 4 legions of the Aoshan Empire immediately roared. The earth trembled and the entire city began to tremble. Break. A longevity expert of the Aoshan Empire raised the earthen yellow hammer in his hand. A huge earthen yellow hammer that was dozens of kilometers long and as large as a mountain peak condensed in the sky and smashed towards the city protection array. Boom. The city protecting formation collapsed as the attack landed. It's the Aoshan Empire. It's those damn bastards from the Aoshan Empire. They ambushed us. They actually dared to attack us. We, the Dragon God Association, will protect us and wipe out the entire Aoshan Empire, causing their blood to flow like a river. Kill. Kill all the invaders from the Aoshan Empire. Within the city of the Draconid Empire, all the soldiers and citizens had savage expressions on their faces. One by one the experts soared into the sky. Boom. However, at this moment the earth was like a tsunami. Within the entire city all the buildings were collapsing rapidly. The undulating power caused some of the weaker people to die. Meteorite descent. The experts from the prideful Heaven Empire's spear-sealing legion raised their staffs. Huge meteorites appeared out of thin air. Countless meteorites attacked the city mercilessly. It was a world-destroying battle, a real world-destroying battle. This was a real battle. The city would be destroyed at any time and tens of millions of people would die. Ao Biming didn't show any mercy on his face. Wang Xian didn't show any sympathy either as he sat on the dragon throne. He didn't feel uncomfortable killing a bunch of lunatics. Furthermore, it was the Draconid Empire that started the massacre of the innocent citizens of the Aoshan Empire. If anyone dared to hurt his family, friends and subordinates, Wang Xian would make them pay back thousands of times over. The powerhouses of the Aoshan Empire are taking revenge on our Draconid Empire. Quick, pass the message to the Dragon King. Protect the Dragon God, the Dragon race will protect us. Within the city of the Draconid Empire, the Draconids inside saw this incomparably terrifying attack and revealed terrified expressions. They hurriedly passed the message to the army of the Draconid Empire. Located 1,000 kilometers to the left of this city, that was the gathering place of the Draconid Empire's army. It was also one of the 2 cities where the 2 empires had once traded. The Aoshan Empire also knew that there were countless Draconid Empire's experts gathered there. They did not immediately head over because they wanted to take revenge for the 20 million citizens. A blood debt naturally had to be repaid with blood. What came next was the true battle. Boom boom boom. Ah. The Aoshan Empire's experts took action, and the entire city quickly turned into ruins. An eye for an eye, blood for blood. Don't go any deeper, go to Jianghu City. Ao Biming looked at the city that was completely reduced to ruins and ordered coldly. The border between the Aoshan Empire and the Draconid Empire was very long. However, in order to prevent being ambushed, they could only destroy the cities on the other side of the border and attack them bit by bit. After destroying a city, they flew towards the real battlefield. The border of the 2 empires, Jianghu City. Chapter 1772. 1772 in the 1772 continent's #1 assassin organization. Jianghu City could also be called the Jianghu region. This was not a city but a region. There were 4 cities in it. The 2 cities that corresponded to the east and west were called Aoshan Jianghu City and the Dragonman Jianghu City. The north and south corresponded to 2 cities. One was called the Demon Hunter Employment City, and the other was called the World's Jianghu City. The Draconid Empire relied on the dragon race to possess the resources of the Extraordinary Sea. All the resources of the Extraordinary Sea flowed from this place. As the empire that possessed the most vast land, the Aoshan Empire was also located in the center. It was the most convenient area for transportation. Over time, this place formed an incomparably large business circle. Even the headquarters of the Demon Hunting Mercenary Association, which had the longest history, was established here. It could be said that this was the headquarters of the Demon Hunting Mercenary Association that spanned the entire continent. As for the world's merchant city, it was the gathering place of all the powerful trading companies on the transcendental continent. There were 4 cities in the north, south, east, and west. 50 kilometers away from each other were the Aoshan Empire and the Dragonman Empire's Shangliu city. When the Dragonman Empire launched an invasion, they didn't invade this place. The area where the Demon Hunters Association and trading companies gathered was the location where the trade between the two empires circulated. The invasion of the Dragonman Empire wouldn't be carried out rashly here. After all, although the Draconid Empire was strong and had the dragon race behind them, they would not provoke the Demon Hunters Association and the world's trading city for no reason. These two existences could represent almost all the forces under the empire. Moreover, the Draconid Empire and the world's trading city, the Demon Hunters Association, also had countless benefits. The outbreak of war took place in the surrounding cities. After the outbreak, the two empires' trading city became the two cities at the forefront. The two Shangliu cities were now covered by a huge array, and the city walls were filled with powerful legions and soldiers. Here, the mountain-moving army of the Aoshan Empire was stationed at the border with 500,000 soldiers. The Draconid Empire's Shangliu city was also stationed with close to 1 million soldiers and experts, and almost half of the Draconid Empire's forces were stationed there. The atmosphere in the entire sky was extremely solemn. In an area of 50 kilometers on both sides of the north and south, tens of millions of people had gathered in the demon-hunting mercenary city and the world's merchant city. They were also looking at the two empires that were confronting each other in astonishment. They were also a little frightened. If a great battle really broke out, it was very likely that even they would be affected. When that time came, the aftermath of the battle could destroy both of their cities. Roar! Suddenly, a roar filled with killing intent came from the heavy sky. One by one, thick earth pangolins flew over from the south. Soon after, Ao Baiming led the 4 armies of the Ao Mountain Empire over. Wang Xian and the members of the Dragon Palace followed closely from the side. It's the army of the Ao Mountain Empire. Those are the Dragon King and the powerhouses of the Dragon Palace. They're here. The Ao Shan Empire is about to launch a counterattack. When Wang Xian and Ao Baiming arrived, they immediately attracted the attention of the other 3 cities. As the 4 cities were trading, they were very close to each other. If there was any movement from the 4 cities, the other cities would know. The arrival of the army of the Ao Shan Empire was not too surprising. Because up until today, 2 cities of the Aoshan Empire had already been destroyed. The number of deaths had increased from the initial 20 million to over 30 million. It was an extremely bloody massacre. Welcome, monarch. Within the Aoshan Empire's merchant flow city, a group of soldiers saw their monarch's arrival and immediately greeted him loudly. How is the strength of the Draconid Empire? Ao Baiming landed on the city wall with a dignified expression. He stared at the city in front of him and asked coldly. Reporting to the emperor, the dragon army of the Dragonmen Empire has arrived not too long ago. According to the news, their dragon emperor should arrive soon. A general immediately reported. Prepare to attack. Ao Baiming did not hesitate at all and immediately shouted. Yes. Open the city gate and prepare to attack. With the arrival of the army of the Ao Shan Empire, they immediately counterattacked without any hesitation. Boom, boom, boom. The city gate opened and the soldiers rushed out. Hiss attacked directly. After the Emperor of Ao Shan arrived, he attacked directly. It seems that the Ao Shan Empire is really angry. After the alliance between the Dragon Palace and the Ao Shan Empire, the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace has personally led a group of subordinates to help the Ao Shan Empire. The Dragonmen Empire should not be their match. The dragon race is behind the Dragonmen Empire. The dragon race will definitely not sit idly by. On both sides of the demon-hunting mercenary city and the world merchant city, everyone stood on the city walls and looked over, their faces filled with shock. Not good, General. The Emperor of Aoshan has led the 4 legions of the Aoshan Empire and the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace to attack. On the city walls of the Draconid Empire, a soldier immediately warned loudly when he saw the city gate open and 1 million soldiers walk out of the city. Don't worry. The general standing in the middle raised his head slightly, his eyes filled with killing intent. Roar! At this moment, roars came from the back of the city of the Draconid Empire. Haha Ao Biming Dragon King, you guys just destroyed a city of our Draconid Empire, and now you're attacking us in such a hurry. Aren't you a little too anxious? A maniacal laughter sounded, and everyone's gaze turned towards the direction of the Draconid Empire. When Ao Biming saw the arrival of the Dragon Emperor, his expression didn't change at all. Ao Shan Empire, hand over the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace to the Dragon Race. Otherwise, the Dragon Race will wreak havoc in your Ao Shan Empire and kill everyone in your empire. Just as the Dragon Emperor's voice sounded, a violent voice filled with killing intent sounded. This voice made everyone slightly shocked. That is? An expert of the Dragon Race. I didn't expect the Dragon Race to directly intervene. Oh my god. Look behind that expert of the Dragon Race. What is that? The 10-directional Great Demon is the strongest demon beast race in the Transcendent Sea. Also, what is that black fog? There's only one expert of the Dragon Race. Why didn't the Dragon Race send more experts to directly destroy the Dragon King? Could it be that they're afraid of something? There's something strange about the Dragon Empire attacking the Aoshan Empire this time. Now that the Dragon Race has joined in, they didn't send an army of the Dragon Race. This is even stranger. Could it be that the Aoshan Empire has an expert that the Dragon Race is afraid of? More than 10,000 years ago, the Aoshan Emperor was able to fight against the god of the Dragon Race. The Aoshan Empire has a divine weapon. Perhaps the Aoshan Empire has a power that the Dragon Race is afraid of and doesn't dare to force them into a corner. The cities on both sides were shocked when they saw the Aoshan Empire, the Dragon Man Empire, and even the Dragon Race experts flying over. At the same time, everyone was filled with shock and doubt towards this war. Logically speaking, with their superficial strength, it should be very easy for the Dragon Race to destroy the Aoshan Empire. However, the Dragon Race didn't make a move. The Dragon Kill Order had already been issued, and after the Dragon Palace and the Aoshan Empire allied, the Dragon Race didn't send out any powerful forces to kill them. This was very strange, completely inconsistent with the Dragon Clan's dominance and tyranny. Although 10,000 years ago, the Aoshan Emperor had sparred with the Dragon God of the Dragon Clan, and the Aoshan Emperor had not lost, he had not won either. Moreover, it had been more than 10,000 years, and the Aoshan Emperor should have already fallen. From the looks of it, the actions of the Dragon Clan and the Dragon Man Empire were indeed very strange. There could only be one possibility, and that was that the Aoshan Empire possessed a power that the Dragon Clan was somewhat afraid of. It should be a divine artifact. Chapter 1773. 1773 Continents Number 1 Assassin Organization. Back then, the battle between Emperor Aoshan and the god of the Dragon Race was known by everyone on the continent. No one knew the cause, but it wasn't because Emperor Aoshan had offended the Dragon Race, nor was it because the Dragon Race wanted to destroy Emperor Aoshan. After that battle, Emperor Aoshan admitted that he had relied on the divine weapon, or else he would have been killed by the god of the Dragon Race. After that, Emperor Aoshan admitted that the Dragon Race was the lord of the continent. The Aoshan Empire was willing to be on good terms with them. Everyone knew that the god of dragons had only just risen. On the other hand, Emperor Aoshan was known as a genius that only appeared once every 100,000 years. Furthermore, he had lived for more than 7,000 years. Emperor Aoshan, who did not have much time left, naturally had to compromise with the Dragon Race for the sake of the future of the Aoshan Empire. Haha, hand it over? Wang Xian looked at the powerhouses from the Draconid Empire and the Dragon Race who were flying towards him. When he heard the words of the Fire Dragon, he laughed out loud. My Dragon Palace admits that our strength is inferior to your Dragon Race. However, you are dreaming if you want to destroy my Dragon Palace. As he spoke, he slowly stood up from the dragon chair. The dragon eyes of the yin-yang 5 elements swept across the group of demonic beasts behind the Fire Dragon. His gaze paused at the center of the black cloud for a moment, and the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. When our Dragon Clan finds the place where your Dragon Palace is hiding, we'll see how a puny Dragon King like you can still be complacent. The Fire Dragon's eyes were filled with fury. Ao Biming, you're in such a hurry to come and throw your life away? When the Dragon Emperor heard the conversation between the Dragon King and the Fire Dragon Elder, he glanced at the Dragon King with slight fear. He had some misgivings about this guy who dared to kill the dragon clan in their dragon city. Even someone as powerful as the Ao Shan Emperor didn't dare to be arrogant towards the dragon clan, but this guy did. Even he wasn't a match for a level 8 longevity dragon. The dragon clan originally didn't want to participate in this war, but because of the appearance of this dragon king, they had no choice but to send an elder. You killed more than 30 million disciples of my Ao Shan Empire. Son of the dragon, I will make your dragon empire pay back tenfold. Ao Baiming stared coldly at the dragon emperor. Soldiers of the dragon empire, get ready. The dragon emperor narrowed his eyes and a dragon saber appeared in his hand. Hua hua hua. Behind them, the soldiers with dragon horns clenched their weapons. Move the mountain, control the sky, shake the earth and seal the spears. Let the enemies in front see your strength. Ao Baiming roared coldly. Yes. The 4 legions of the Ao Shan Empire immediately roared. Kill? Kill? The legions of the Ao Shan Empire and the Draconid Empire charged forward. In the sky, Ao Baiming and the Draconid Empire stared at each other. The group of longevity experts didn't move either. They stared at each other coldly. King Ao Shan, do we need the members of the Dragon Palace to make a move? When Wang Xian saw this scene, he asked Ao Baiming directly. There's no need. Ao Baiming shook his head indifferently. He looked at the fire dragon and the group of demonic beasts behind him. If the dragon race is going to make a move against that group of demonic beasts, I'll have to trouble the Dragon King to get his subordinates to make a move. All right. Wang Xian nodded. Kill? At this moment, the core army of the Draconid Empire clashed with the 4 armies of the Ao Shan Empire. In the blink of an eye, more than 1,000 people were killed. There were the soldiers of the Ao Shan Empire as well as the Draconids of the Draconid Empire. The battle began. It was a brutal battle. When the Dragon King saw this scene, his expression did not change at all. He looked at the blood that was flowing down below quietly. For the great cause of the God of Dragons, it was worth it even if the Draconid Empire suffered heavy casualties. At this moment, Wang Xian suddenly realized that the fresh blood dripping down below was instantly absorbed by the ground. Furthermore, the blood was spreading in the direction of the Draconid Empire. The corpse that was killed had dried up within a few minutes and lost all its blood. What does the Draconid Empire need this blood for? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly. Ao Baiming, who was at the side, also frowned and shook his head. This is too tragic. They are the elite troops of 2 empires. Now they are actually fighting like this. This is simply killing 1,000 enemies at the expense of 800. What is the Draconid Empire trying to do? Why are they willing to risk the lives of their soldiers to fight against the Ao Shan Empire? If they didn't have the support of the dragon race, the strength of the Draconid Empire would be inferior to that of the Ao Shan Empire. In the 2 surrounding cities, the mercenary group and the people from the trading firm looked at the battle in the center with shocked expressions. Elder, please have Hyaming take action. The Draconid Empire floated in the sky. Seeing that the soldiers below were slightly at a disadvantage, it frowned and said to Elder Fire Dragon beside it. All right, Haiming, let's do it. Huolong looked down and his expression didn't change at all. As soon as the Fire Dragon gave the order, there were no fluctuations coming from behind. Wang Xian, who was floating in the sky, suddenly raised his eyebrows and looked in front of him with some surprise. On the opposite side, there were over 1,000 demonic beasts whose bodies were pitch black and were shrouded in black shadows. They were sneaking into the battlefield. They were hidden in the shadows and no one could see them. Even Ao Baiming, who was at the side, didn't notice the group of demonic beasts at such a distance. Ao Yao, move. Kill them and collect all the corpses. Wang Xian transmitted his voice to Ao Yao gently and revealed a faint smile on his face. King Ao Shan, how many members are there in the Dark Nether Assassin group? He turned his head and asked Ao Baiming plainly. Dark World? They only have over 1,000 assassins, but they are the #1 assassin organization in the continent. Their strength is extremely terrifying. The leader of the Dark World is able to assassinate a Wansho master. Ao Baiming raised his eyebrows slightly when he heard Wang Xian's words and said directly. Over 1,000. Wang Xian nodded his head and looked ahead. There were about 1,200 people. From the first level of the Void Interpretation stage to the second level of the Longevity stage, there were only 5 people in the Longevity stage. They possessed a strong ability to hide shadows. They were indeed very strong. Ah! All of a sudden, screams of pain could be heard from the bottom of the battlefield. These screams of despair were exceptionally ear-piercing. Following that, under everyone's astonished gazes, corpses appeared out of thin air on the ground. The corpses were pitch black and had incomparably sharp claws. Their legs were very thin and they looked like ghosts. However, the appearance of more than 1,000 of these corpses on the ground out of thin air immediately attracted everyone's attention. The #1 assassin organization on the continent, Dark Nether, is it? After today, I'm afraid it will no longer exist. At this moment, Wang Xian's voice, which was full of smiles, rang out, causing everyone's expression to change drastically. Even the king of Ao Shan, who was standing at the side, was slightly shocked when he saw the Dark Nether killer who had suddenly died at the bottom of the battlefield. How is this possible? At the front, the Dragon King was completely stunned when he saw this scene. Chapter 1774. 1774 Dragon Palace's Combat Division. My God, why are there suddenly more bodies of the members of the Dark Nether assassin group on the battlefield? There are more than 1,000 of them. What's going on? The Dark Nether assassin group is the #1 assassin group in our extraordinary continent, and now they were assassinated. The Dark Nether assassin group should have been ready to join the war, but they were assassinated. My God, this. On the two cities on the left and right, all the experts took a deep breath when they saw this scene. Their faces were filled with shock. He Ming, that was the publicly recognized #1 assassin organization on the continent. It was an existence that made all the forces tremble in fear when they heard of it. Now it actually died in front of everyone's eyes. In fact, they didn't even know how these over 1,000 assassins of He Ming suddenly died. How was this possible? What's going on? The expression of the fire dragon elder from the dragon tribe changed slightly as well. His pair of crimson eyes scanned the area below. However, because he was too far away, he didn't notice anything strange. Dragon King, what is this? Ao Baiming looked at Wang Xian in astonishment. His eyes were filled with shock. When Wang Xian asked him about the underworld, the answer he gave was also the #1 assassin organization in the continent. It was an extremely terrifying existence. However, as soon as he finished his sentence, more than 1,000 bodies of the underworld assassin organization appeared below. He. Wang Xian smiled mysteriously. He looked at the Dragon King and the Elder of the Fire Dragon Empire and said faintly, "It was you who made the first move. Then I shall let you witness the Dragon Thorn Combat Division of the Dragon Palace." His voice reverberated across the entire battlefield. The Dragon King, the Elder of the Fire Dragon Empire, and all the powerhouses of the Draconid Empire were slightly shocked. Dragon Thorn Combat Division of the Dragon Palace. The powerhouses in the cities on the left and right were even more shocked as they muttered to themselves. Everyone quickly looked down. At this moment, they realized that the corpse of He Ming on the ground had already disappeared. Moreover, the corpse on the ground was disappearing at a terrifying speed. In less than a second, more than 2,000 corpses fell towards the location below. As time passed, more and more corpses fell. Similarly, all the corpses had a pair of dragon horns. The hundreds of thousands of people who were fighting did not notice the sudden appearance of the corpse of He Ming below. At the beginning, they did not notice anything strange. However, when the members of the four great armies of the Aoshan Empire prepared to attack the opponent in front of them, a white light suddenly flashed beside the body of the expert from the Draconid Empire, and he immediately fell downwards. This caused the soldiers of the Aoshan Empire to be slightly stunned. Not good, there is an assassin. Everyone pay attention. Right at this moment, a terrified voice came from the Draconid Empire's army. Bang bang bang. When this voice rang out, more than 1,000 Draconid Empire's experts died on the entire battlefield. All of them were void interpretation experts and all of them were instantly killed. This caused all the Draconid Empire soldiers' scalps to go numb, and their eyes were filled with fear. What? When the Dragon Emperor saw the corpses of the Draconid Empire soldiers falling like raindrops, his expression changed drastically. Even if he did not care about the loss of the Draconid Empire soldiers, in a short span of 10 seconds, more than 10,000 insightful Void Realm experts were killed. His expression was filled with shock and anger. 10 great demons, kill them. When the dragon race's fire dragon elder saw this scene, his expression also changed slightly. The Dark Abyss Killer organization belonged to the dragon race's underlings. The dragon race was very familiar with the strength of this underling. In a one-on-one situation he was inferior to the dragon race. However, in terms of assassination the entire continent was unrivaled. The Dark Abyss Demon Beast's powerful concealment ability made it difficult for even the dragon race to discover the other party. However, after being exterminated, the Dragon Spy Combat Division that the Dragon King mentioned actually used an even more terrifying speed to assassinate experts one after another on the battlefield. This was a battlefield with hundreds of thousands of people. During the assassination, other than a flash of white light, not a single figure appeared. Such a terrifying assassination shocked even the elders of the Dragon Clan. Kill. Rain of Ice. The 10 directional great demons were a combination of 10 demon beast races, a total of 10 demon beast races. Each demon beast race had 4,000 to 5,000 insightful void realm experts, and their leader had the strength of the longevity realm. The 10 directional great demons were the most powerful subordinates of the dragon race. There were murlocs wielding weapons, poisonous octopuses waving their claws, and crab people with more than 10 claws. There were also frogmen who could shoot ice arrows. The 10 directional great demons were all marine creatures. 4,000 to 5,000 frogmen opened their mouths, and the entire sky was instantly covered by ice arrows. Countless ice arrows attacked the entire battlefield from all directions. It was as though they couldn't differentiate between friend and foe. Dragon Palace's Combat Division, Heavenly Eye Arrow Division. Seeing the attacks of the great demons of the 10 directions, the members of the Dragon Palace behind Wang Xian didn't hesitate at all. The members of the Heavenly Eye Arrow Division immediately drew their bowstrings. Arrows carrying wind dragons flew towards the frogmen. In the sky, the countless ice arrows seemed to have been hit by a storm and dissipated. Dragon Palace Combat Division, Dragon Guard. The golden swordfish also had powerful auras. Their cold sword auras were extremely cold. They were like human weapons as they charged at the 10 demons. Dragon Palace Combat Division, Demon Combat Division. Roar. 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 With a violent roar, a group of demon monkeys rode on the Fire Phoenix Dragon Seed. They charged into the battlefield with an extremely ferocious aura and monstrous demonic aura. Heaven's Eye Arrow Division, Dragon Guard Division, Demon Combat Division. A series of domineering roars resounded across the entire sky. They represented the strength of the Dragon Palace and the power of the Dragon Palace. The 3 combat divisions announced to the people of the Transcendence continent the true power of the Dragon Palace. An even more terrifying war broke out in an instant. Other than Wang Xian Ao Baiming, the Dragon King, and the elders of the Dragon Clan, the rest of the people rushed into the battlefield. With the addition of the longevity experts, the entire battlefield was destined to change. Roar roar kill. However, at this moment, a furious roar was heard. A 5,000-meter-long ocean-pacifying divine needle was swung by Ao Qitian, who was 20 meters long after the violent attack. It smashed forward. Boom, boom. An incomparably terrifying sound rang out, accompanied by tens of thousands of miserable screams. With a single strike, the tens of thousands of experts of the 10 directional great demons were all dumbfounded. A 10,000-year-old expert brandished a 5,000-meter-long weapon like a tiger. In particular, the ocean-pacifying divine needle contained a suppressive force that made their hearts palpitate. With a single strike, 1/5 of the demons of the 10 directional great demons were gone. This was terrifying and shocking. Heartless swords. Another cold voice sounded as incomparably sharp golden swords attacked forward. Each sword emitted a resplendent light as it reaped lives. Faced with these swords, the 10 directional great demons and all the soldiers of the Draconid Empire were completely dumbfounded. Chapter 1775. 1775 Dragon Palace's Combat Divisions. This is a war. This is definitely not torture. My God, the combat divisions of the Dragon Palace are so terrifying. The great demons of the 10 directions and the experts of the Draconid Empire are no match for the Dragon Palace at all. Why do I have the feeling that the experts of the Dragon Palace are able to annihilate the great demons of the 10 directions and the Draconid Empire without the need of the Aoshan Empire? This is too powerful. The combat strength of the members of the Dragon Palace doesn't seem to be any weaker than the 6th level of the Profound Void tier. No wonder the Dragon King dared to be so powerful and directly kill the members of the Dragon Clan. The members of the Dragon Palace are too terrifying. The Heavenly Eye Arrow Division, the Dragon Guard, the Devil Combat Division, and the incomparably terrifying Dragon Spike Combat Division. This is simply heaven-defying. The moment the 10 directional Great Demons and the Dragon Palace Combat Division entered the battlefield and clashed, everyone instantly felt the terror of the Dragon Palace Combat Division. The violent Demon Monkey, the icy cold sword light, the deadly arrows, and the assassins hiding in the surroundings. The lowest level was the 6th rank of the Profound Void tier, and there were 50 Wansho first rank experts among them. The 10 Great Demons and the Dragon Empire only had 40 Wansho experts, which was not even as many as the Dragon Palace. With the longevity experts of the Aoshan Empire present, the instant they clashed caused a terrifying suppression. The Draconid Empire had no ability to resist at all as they were quickly massacred. Corpses fell to the ground one after another. This is so powerful. Ao Baiming, who was at the side, opened his mouth slightly when he saw how powerful the members of the Dragon Palace were. His face was filled with shock. Looking at the one-sided massacre, he was a little dazed. With the full power of the Dragon Palace, even if they were facing the 4 armies of the Aoshan Empire, they could easily slaughter them. Too strong, simply too strong. There were 50,000 to 60,000 void interpretation experts in the entire Aoshan Empire, but there were only 5,000 to 6,000 people above the 5th or 6th level of the void interpretation realm. The rest were all at the 5th or 6th level of the void interpretation realm. However, the combat strength of the members of the Dragon Palace was at least at the 6th level of the void interpretation realm. Even if the 4 great armies of their empire joined forces, they wouldn't be a match for the Dragon Palace. Not good. How can the Dragon Palace be so strong? The Dragon Emperor's expression changed drastically when he saw the soldiers of the Draconid Empire and the 10 great demon beasts being slaughtered. Those killers are collecting all the corpses. Damn it, they put the corpses into their interspatial rings. Soon after, when the Dragon Emperor saw the corpses disappearing one after another, his face turned ugly. Retreat. The Dragon Fire Dragon Elder's face turned dark, and he immediately ordered the Dragon Emperor. Retreat, all the members of the Draconid Empire retreat to the city. The Dragon Emperor roared with a gloomy face. Quick, retreat to the city. The combat divisions of the Dragon Palace are so powerful. How could they be so powerful? Run, run. All the soldiers of the Draconid Empire ran frantically toward the city behind them when they heard the Dragon Emperor's words. They've retreated. The people of the Draconid Empire have retreated. This is not a fight of the same level at all. If the Dragon Clan doesn't send their experts over, the Draconid Empire will be in trouble. Terrifying. A short exchange of blows caused the Draconid Empire to retreat and flee. In the cities on both sides, all the experts watched this scene in shock. The Draconid Empire soldiers and the 10 great demon beasts fled frantically towards the cities behind them. Meanwhile, the experts of the Dragon Palace and the 4 armies of the Aoshan Empire were frenziedly hunting. Now they could kill as many as they could. In the short distance of 20 kilometers, they left behind 50 to 60,000 corpses. The entire ground was covered with the corpses of the experts of the Draconid Empire. After the Draconid Empire and the 10 directional demons escaped back into the city, the massive city gates were immediately closed. An array formation that suppressed the world shot into the sky, enveloping the entire city into an invincible city. The 4 legions of the Aoshan Empire and the members of the Dragon Palace stopped. Haha Long son, you invaded us, why are you hiding in the city now? You killed more than 30 million people of the Aoshan Empire, and I will make you pay back tenfold. If you continue to hide in there, Ao Baiming will lead my army to slaughter 10 of your cities. Ao Baiming looked at the fleeing soldiers of the Draconid Empire, his face filled with excitement as he roared. Ao Baiming, you better not force us. When the Dragon Emperor heard his words, his expression changed drastically as he roared furiously. Haha, force you? Why didn't you say that when you killed the citizens of the Aoshan Empire? Ao Baiming, swear that I will slaughter 10 cities of yours. Ao Baiming roared with a ferocious expression as well. You. The Dragon Emperor's expression was twisted as he clenched his fists tightly. However, when he saw the Dragon King and the experts of the Dragon Palace, he was both shocked and furious. They and the entire dragon race didn't expect the Dragon Palace to be so powerful. They thought that with He Ming and the 10 directional great demons, they could completely suppress the Dragon Palace. The Dragonman Empire fought against the Ao Shan Empire, killing their experts and collecting their blood. They didn't expect the Dragon Palace's strength to completely crush them. They even collected all the corpses. How could they still collect the blood now? If they couldn't complete the Dragon God's order, his son would probably. Elder, the Dragon Palace is so powerful now. What should we do? The Dragon Emperor looked at the Fire Dragon Elder beside him and asked with an uncertain expression. Damn the Dragon Palace, old undying great Emperor Ao Shan. The Fire Dragon Elder's face was also filled with anger. The strength of the dragon race had exceeded his expectations. However, even though the dragon race was extremely powerful, if it was not for great Emperor Ao Shan, the dragon race could have sent hundreds of dragon emperors to destroy the Dragon Palace in a matter of minutes. Now, they had to suffer such humiliation because they were afraid that Emperor Ao Shan would attack. Don't move for now. I'll go back to the Dragon Palace and ask the Grand Elder. Elder Fire Dragon said with a gloomy face. He couldn't make the decision in this situation. The Dragon Palace was so powerful that they would need at least 100 or 200 dragon emperors to deal with them. However, the dragon ancestor wasn't sure if 100 or 200 dragon emperors would trigger Emperor Ao Shan to attack. It's the Elder. After a year, if the dragon god can ignite the divine fire, he will turn the Dragon Palace and the Ao Shan Empire into ashes. The Dragon Emperor growled in a low voice full of killing intent. Since the Dragonman Empire is hiding in the city, let's go deep into the Dragonman Empire and slaughter the city. Ao Baiming saw that the city was closed. He glanced at all the soldiers and ordered loudly. Roar. Blood shall be repaid in blood. Kill. Blood shall be repaid in blood. Kill. The soldiers of the Aoshan Empire roared with murderous intent. Dragon King, thank you for the battle today. The Aoshan Empire will definitely repay you generously in the future. Ao Baiming looked at Wang Xian and said with respect in his eyes. Since we are in an alliance, we don't need to care so much. Wang Xian smiled faintly and said, I just don't know if the Dragon Emperor of the Dragon Tribe will come over next. If they send a large number of powerhouses over, I'm afraid. Don't worry, Dragon King. My grandfather has spoken. This time the Draconid Empire will repay you tenfold. If the Dragon Tribe really dares to send a few hundred powerhouses, he will come over personally to settle it. Ao Baiming said proudly. That's good. Wang Xian nodded his head. His eyes were sparkling. It was good to enjoy the shade under the big tree. With the help of the great Emperor Ao Shan, he could also make enemies with the Draconid Empire and the Dragon Tribe without any scruples. Even if they were to really fight to the death and the Dragon Tribe mobilized all their forces, as long as the great Emperor Ao Shan could withstand the highest combat strength of the Dragon Tribe. He, Wang Xian, had the confidence to obtain the final victory of the war. Chapter 1776. 1776 shook the entire continent. Kill, kill, kill. The Draconid Empire suffered hundreds of thousands of casualties and retreated into the city. Ao Baiming led his army and charged towards the inner part of the Draconid Empire. Revenge began. In just a short day, Ao Baiming led his soldiers and killed 10 cities of the Draconid Empire. Following that, Ao Baiming led his army to defend the merchant flow city of the Aoshan Empire, ready to face the Draconid Empire's revenge at any time. This battle instantly shook the entire continent. Especially the experts from the Demon Hunters Mercenary City and the World Merchant City on both sides, they had truly witnessed the terror of the top forces on the continent. The result of the entire battle spread to the other parts of the continent at a terrifying speed. The Dark Nether Assassin Group was easily assassinated by the Dragon Palace's Dragon Assassin Division, leaving no one alive. From now on, the Dark Nether Assassin Group will completely disappear from the stage of the continent, and the Dragon Palace's Dragon Assassin Group will become the #1 assassin group on the Transcendental Continent. When the demons of the 10 directions meet the Dragon Palace, the Heavenly Eye Archers and the Dragon Guards, they don't have the strength to resist at all. The Dragon Palace, together with the 10,000 or so experts on their mounts, each of them has the combat strength of at least level 6 of the Profound Void tier. The most terrifying archery skills, the sharpest sword skills, the most violent attacks and the most terrifying assassinations. The 4 combat divisions of the Dragon Palace can completely wipe out the Draconid Empire, even if they include the demons of the 10 directions. The strength of the Dragon Palace is simply too terrifying. No wonder the Dragon King dared to kill members of the Dragon Clan and fight against the Dragon Clan. This Dragon Palace is too strong. Does the Dragon Palace have the strength to fight against the Dragon Clan? The Dragon Palace fights against the Dragon Clan? That should be impossible. The Dragon Clan has hundreds of thousands of years of foundation. The strength of the Dragon Palace should not be enough. I feel that it is very likely to fight against them. That is the strength of more than 10,000 people at least at the 6th level of the Profound Void tier. When the entire central continent received this news, everyone's faces were filled with shock as they discussed. Especially regarding the strength of the Dragon Palace, everyone was dumbstruck and their faces were filled with shock. More than 10,000 subordinates at least at the 6th rank of the Profound Void martial stage. With the strength of the Dragon Palace, it could completely sweep across the entire Draconid Empire. Not to mention that legendary assassin, archer, swordsman, and the berserk demon monkey. In the end, many people were even discussing whether the Dragon Palace's strength was enough to fight against the Dragon Clan. Some said that it was impossible, but there were also some who could. Because the Dragon Palace's strength was too strong. Even if the Dragon Palace couldn't fight against the Dragon Clan, it was still a powerful performance to be able to compare with them. For the upcoming war, some people who didn't think it was a big deal were full of anticipation. One had to know that the total number of deaths in the Draconids in this war was more than 100 million. This was definitely the biggest war in the past 1,000 years. Even with the destruction of the Phoenix dynasty and the empire of 10,000 demons, there weren't so many lives lost. Time passed slowly. A month had passed, but the Draconid Empire was still as calm as ever. The Draconid Empire did not organize any counterattacks nor did they withdraw their troops. Wang Xian and the members of the Dragon Palace had been sitting in the merchant flow city of the Aoshan Empire. They were curious about the reaction of the Draconid Empire. It's been a month, but the Draconid Empire and the Dragon Clan did not take any action at all. This is really strange. Wang Xian and Ao Baiming sat in a courtyard and sipped their tea. They were slightly curious. The more they act like this, the more uneasy they are. Ao Baiming frowned slightly. The calmer the Draconid Empire and the Dragon race were, the more fearful they were. Wang Xian nodded his head in agreement. I don't know. What are they preparing now? It wasn't just Wang Xian and the Aoshan Empire who were curious. Everyone in the Transcendence continent was also curious about the actions of the Draconid Empire and the Dragon race. A month had passed, yet the Dragonmen Empire and the Dragon Clan didn't take any revenge. This wasn't the way the Dragonmen Empire and the Dragon Clan did things. The overlord of the Transcendence continent didn't dare to attack anyone who provoked him. Such actions would lose the prestige of the Dragon Clan. Another month had passed, but the Dragonmen Empire and the Dragon Clan still didn't take any action. Is the Dragon Clan really afraid of the Dragon Palace and the Aoshan Empire? Maybe. After all, the combat divisions of the Dragon Palace are too powerful. Plus, the 4 legions of the Aoshan Empire might really be able to fight against the Dragon Palace. Another month had passed and the continent was still very calm. Some people started to speculate and discuss. At first, those who were sure that the Dragon Clan was much stronger than the Dragon Palace also looked hesitant. This operation of the Dragon Clan was indeed not like their usual style. If they were really stronger than the Dragon Palace and the Aoshan Empire, they should have directly sent a huge number of members of the Dragon Clan to destroy them. Haven't we found the Dragon Palace's lair yet? At this moment in the Dragon Sea, a group of elders, grand elders and sons of the Dragon Clan were gathered on a mountain peak. What's going on? A Supreme Elder asked with a sullen face. Supreme Elder, there's still no news. I've mobilized all my forces. According to the information we've received about the Dragon Palace, the Dragon Palace's old nest was in the ocean. The Dragon Emperor of the Land of Dragons said with an unpleasant expression. In the ocean? Elder Water Dragon, take the members of the Dragon Clan and order the creatures of the Extraordinary Sea to search all the oceans of the Extraordinary Continent. The Supreme Elder said indifferently, "Whether we can find it or not, our Dragon Clan will take action in half a year. We must collect all the human blood that Lord Dragon God needs. Even if it's the Aoshan Emperor of the Aoshan Empire, we will not hesitate to pay the price. It's best if we can find the lair of the Dragon Palace and destroy all the creatures of the Dragon Palace. Since our Dragon Clan wants to take action, we must kill all the ants that provoke us." Yes. The son of the Dragon Emperor, nodded respectfully. The Dragon Clan was not too anxious. The Draconid Empire was not too anxious either. The initiative of everything was in their hands. If they were willing to pay the price, Emperor Aoshan and the rest would not be afraid. However, a small matter had been brought to this point by them. They were afraid that the god of the Dragon Clan would blame them in a year's time. That was why they retreated so much. Time passed day by day and the continent regained its peace. After more than a month, Wang Xian saw that there was still no movement from the Draconid Empire and the Dragon race. Hence, he left immediately and returned to the Dragon Palace. Another month passed and Ao Baiming from the Aoshan Empire led his army back to the 11 peaks of the Outyin Mountain. It seemed like the war had ended just like that. This shocked everyone. The Dragon Palace and the Aoshan Empire actually defeated the Dragonman Empire and stopped attacking. Is it because the Dragon race doesn't want to continue fighting? Or is it because the Dragon race is afraid of the power of the Dragon Palace and the Aoshan Empire? The period of the Dragon race's rule is about to end? The Aoshan Empire and the Dragon Palace have the strength to fight against the Dragon race? After the Dragon Palace and Ao Baiming left the front line, everyone on the continent was talking about it. They were all surprised at the end of the war. The Dragon Palace completely shook the continent. Its fame was even higher than the 4 great empires. Chapter 1777. 1777. The 1777 Dragon Clan roared. The Dragon Clan didn't respond at all. This is really strange. In the Dragon Palace of the Extraordinary Sea, 2 months after Wang Xian arrived, Feng Yuan also rushed over. I don't know. Who cares if they are scheming or scheming? Even if the Dragon Clan invades, we are not afraid. Wang Xian smiled. This time he had obtained quite a number of experts' corpses from the alliance with the Aoshan Empire. It had also given some members of the Dragon Palace a huge boost. Currently, the weakest member of the Dragon Palace was already at level 6 of the See-Through Realm, which was 1 level higher than before. The group of members of the Dragon Palace had also killed many demonic beasts and ferocious beasts near the Extraordinary Sea. Even if there were no more battles in the future, if they continued to develop at this rate, it wouldn't be long before they were able to contend against the Dragon Clan. It would take them at most 10 years, at least 5 years. Wang Xian could afford to wait for 10 years or 5 years. Recently he had been spending every day with Guan Shuqing, Lan Qingyue and the rest. He was quite relaxed and at ease. Regardless of any reaction from the Dragon Palace, he would remain in charge of the Dragon Palace. You're not worried at all. Feng Yuan rolled her eyes at him and said faintly, My wish has come true. Now it's your turn. I have been here from Earth for 11 years. Little Xian, it has been 9 years since you guys came to the Transcendence Continent. 9 years. Wang Xian nodded his head slowly. In the past, I thought that I would be able to stand at the top of the continent for 10 years. Now it seems that I won't be able to achieve that. However, I will still help you take revenge. The Empress is back. Wang Xian smiled as he recalled the goal he had set in the past. To stand at the top of the continent within 10 years, overlooking the entire Transcendence Continent, and helping Feng Yuan to become the #1 Empress of the continent. Now it was still not completed. You are already very strong. Now, the Dragon Palace Combat Division is known on the continent as the strongest combat division on the Transcendence Continent. No one can defeat it. No one can defeat it. Feng Yuan smiled. Dragon King, the radius of 100,000 kilometers around our Dragon Palace is already under control. Do we need to continue expanding? If we continue expanding, we might encounter some dragons. At this moment, Prime Minister Gue walked over and asked Wang Xian. In the past few months, the remaining members of the Dragon Palace had not been idle either. They were expanding the territory of the Dragon Palace. Let's stop for now. We will continue expanding after avoiding this period of time. Wang Xian said to Prime Minister Gue. It's the Dragon King. Prime Minister Gue immediately nodded and retreated, Let's develop peacefully for a period of time. Wang Xian stood up and slowly scanned the entire Dragon Palace. Reporting to the Dragon Emperor, our clansmen have all lost contact in the area ahead. Not long ago we drove some ferocious beasts into the area and saw them being killed by a group of demonic beasts with our own eyes. We also saw an extremely huge creature inside. That creature is a member of the Dragon Palace. We can confirm that the Dragon Palace must be hiding in this sea area. However, what Wang Xian didn't know was that a water dragon was flapping its wings about 100,000 kilometers away from the Dragon Palace. A group of aquatic creatures were following around it. An earthy yellow sea snake that was about 2 meters in size was reporting the news to Water Dragon Emperor. Are you sure that the Dragon Palace is in this area? Water Dragon Emperor stared coldly at the sea snake in front of him. Yes, definitely. Lord Dragon Emperor, I wouldn't dare to lie to you. The sea snake immediately said while trembling. I didn't expect the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace to be so arrogant and place his lair in our extraordinary sea. I really didn't expect this. Water Dragon Emperor's eyes were full of killing intent as he looked ahead. You guys continue to investigate here. I'm going back to the Dragon Sea. Water Dragon Emperor immediately gave the order. He flapped his fins and swam toward the Dragon Sea at a terrifying speed. Dragon Palace, prepare to be destroyed. He growled with excitement. 3 days later, Water Dragon Emperor swam across half of the extraordinary sea and came to the Dragon Sea to deliver the news to the elders and grand elders of the Dragon clan. What? The Dragon Palace is in our extraordinary sea? And it controls the sea area within a radius of 100,000 kilometers. When all the elders and grand elders of the Dragon clan heard the news, they were stunned. They never thought that the Dragon Palace would be so bold as to place their nest in the extraordinary sea. The extraordinary sea was the territory of the Dragon clan. The entire sea was the territory of the Dragon clan, and all the creatures were the subordinates of the Dragon clan. The Dragon Palace dared to place their nest in their territory. All the members of the Dragon clan were slightly stunned. How arrogant! How dare they take over our territory? An elder of the Wind Dragon clan roared coldly. Roar! Recently, some ants on the continent said that we are afraid of the Dragon Palace and Emperor Aoshan. It has been hundreds of thousands of years. It seems that the ants have forgotten how powerful the Dragon clan is. All members of the Water Dragon clan, lead all the beasts and beasts of the extraordinary sea to destroy the Dragon Palace. A low roar came from the Grand Elder of the Fire Dragon clan, who was 20 meters tall in the center. He opened his mouth and spat out flames with an extremely terrifying aura. Yes, Grand Elder. The Grand Elder of the Water Dragon clan immediately replied. Grand Elder, what about the Aoshan Empire? The Draconid Empire has only collected 50% of the human blood. There are still 3 months before the time Lord Dragon God said. A Wind Dragon Grand Supreme Elder asked in a deep voice. Right now, those ants of the human race clearly have the intention of joining forces. Everything is more important to Lord Dragon God. Wind Dragon Clan, send your experts to assist the Draconid Empire in collecting the blood. If that Emperor Aoshan makes a move, I will deal with him. I want to see just how strong the Emperor Aoshan with the divine weapon is. The first Supreme Elder of the Dragon race gave off a violent aura as clouds of fire gathered in the sky. It's the first Supreme Elder. The higher-ups of the Dragon race replied. Roar. The first Supreme Elder in the center raised his head and roared. Next, let the ants of the Transcendence continent hear the roar of the Dragon race. The sky-shaking roar spread throughout the Dragon Sea. Roar, roar, roar. The other dragons roared. Members of the Water Dragon race, follow me and mobilize all the subordinates of the Transcendence Sea to kill the ants of the Dragon Palace. The Supreme Elder of the Water Dragon race roared and resounded throughout the Dragon Sea. Roar, roar. The roars of dragons were heard as water dragons flew out of the underwater mountains. Members of the Wind Dragon race, 50 Dragon Emperors, follow me to the Draconid Empire. An elder of the Wind Dragon clan with a longevity of level 8 shouted. 50 Dragon Emperors flapped their wings and flew over. Let's go. Let the entire transcendental continent kneel down and listen to the roars of our Dragon clan. Chapter 1778. 1778 Dragon Clan roared. Roar, roar. A dragon roar resounded throughout the dragon city of the Draconid Empire. It was filled with a majestic roar that shook the entire city. It's the Lords of the Dragon Clan. Greetings, Lords of the Dragon Clan. When everyone in the Dragon City heard this voice, they immediately knelt on the ground and worshipped. But the Dragon Emperor in the Dragon Palace moved and immediately flew up the mountain. Recently, the Dragon Emperor had been most frustrated. The battle half a year ago had caused the Draconid Empire to suffer heavy losses. The reputation of the Draconid Empire had received a huge blow. The mission of the god of the dragon race was only half completed. A year's time was coming and there was still half to be completed. If he could not complete it, he might die under the dragon breath of the god of the dragon race. Elder Wind Dragon. Seeing more than 50 dragon experts appear on the mountain peak, the Dragon Emperor quickly bowed and replied. Son of Dragon, our dragon race has sent 50 dragon emperors to help you complete the mission of Lord Dragon God. Do it as soon as possible. No mistakes are allowed. Elder Wind Dragon immediately ordered the Dragon Emperor. Ha! The Dragon Emperor was slightly stunned. Elder Wind Dragon, if the experts of the Dragon Palace come to help the Aoshan Empire, I'm afraid that 50 Dragon Emperors might. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? Those ants will soon disappear from the Transcendence continent. Before the Dragon Emperor could finish his words, Elder Wind Dragon interrupted him and spat out a gust of wind. Elder Wind Dragon, we found the location of the Dragon Palace? That's great. In front of the Dragon Clan's power, the small Dragon Palace can be easily destroyed. The Dragon Emperor's face lit up and he quickly said. If the Aoshan Empire dares to attack, immediately report that the first Supreme Elder of the Fire Dragon Clan will come out to deal with it. Don't have any fear. It's been a long time since the Dragon Clan's roar was heard on the Transcendence continent. Elder Wind Dragon said arrogantly. Yes, the Dragon Clan's roar will make all clans submit. It's been a long time since the Dragon Clan's roar was heard on the continent. The Dragon Emperor revealed an excited expression. He immediately knelt in front of Elder Wind Dragon and roared loudly. Very good, go listen to the arrangements of the Son of Dragon. Elder Wind Dragon arrogantly flapped his wings and disappeared. Roar, roar. Seeing Elder Wind Dragon leave, the Dragon Emperor raised his head and roared. His pair of dragon horns emitted flames. His body slowly transformed into the form of a fire dragon. His body was more than 10 meters long, and his dragon wings were 30 meters long. This was the strongest state of the Dragon Emperor. As the son of a dragon, he was the only dragon man who could transform into a dragon to fight. Transcendence Continent, begin to listen to the roars of the dragon race. A dragon's roar was accompanied by an excited roar. The Dragon Emperor flapped his wings and flew directly into the Dragon Palace. 50 Dragon Emperors followed behind him, flapping their huge wings. In Dragon City, all the citizens of the Draconid Empire heard the Dragon Emperor's roar, and their eyes sparkled with a magical luster. Soon the army in the Draconid Empire moved. 50 extremely powerful Dragon Emperors and an army of more than 1 million soldiers followed behind the Dragon Emperor and sailed majestically in the direction of the Aoshan Empire. Some of the merchants in Dragon City and everyone on the road were shocked when they saw this scene. What are the Dragon Emperor and the others doing? They are actually following 50 dragon race experts. Oh my god, the Dragon Emperor has almost led all the armies of the Draconid Empire. What are they doing? Are they attacking the Aoshan Empire? Everyone looked at the Draconid Empire's army and the 50 dragon race experts in shock. After half a year, the dragon race was finally going to make a move. The news of the Draconid Empire quickly spread to other parts of the continent. The actions of one army and 50 dragon experts instantly caused a huge commotion across the entire continent. When the news reached the Aoshan Empire, the entire Aoshan Empire's expression changed drastically. Just as Ao Baiming was about to lead his army to welcome them, news had arrived from the borders of the Aoshan Empire. More than 10 cities had been massacred by the Draconid Empire. When the news arrived, the entire Aoshan Empire was furious. If we join forces with the experts of the Dragon Palace, even if they have 50 dragon race experts following them, we can still destroy everyone in the Draconid Empire. Kill them. We must kill them this time. They have slaughtered more than 10 cities of the Aoshan Empire. The entire Ao Shan Empire was furious. All the people shouted that they would join forces with the Dragon Palace and swear to destroy the Dragon Man Empire. With the combat divisions of the Dragon Palace, they were not afraid even if there were 50 Dragon Emperors. Roar! All the creatures in the nearby sea area gather and head to the southern sea area. They will trample on the Dragon Palace and devour all the ants of the Dragon Palace. At this moment, at a beach in the extraordinary sea, countless people were playing on the beach when the waves suddenly surged. Just when they thought that a tsunami was coming, a dragon roar made everyone look shocked. Soon after, a voice filled with fury and majesty resounded in their ears. Everyone's eyes widened as they stared in disbelief in front of them. Demon beasts, fierce beasts, and sea beasts, as far as the eye could see, were advancing in the extraordinary sea in an orderly manner. All kinds of sea beasts, from the extraordinary realm to the powerful profound void realm, could not be seen at a glance. In the sky, countless sea birds, demonic beasts, and fierce beasts covered the entire sky. There were 1 billion of them or 10 billion of them. There were countless of them. All the demonic beasts and fierce beasts moved forward. They didn't dare to speak or roar. Only the dignified voice of the dragon race was heard. My God, the dragon race is ordering all the sea beasts in the extraordinary sea to destroy the Dragon Palace. They are going to destroy the Dragon Palace. My God, there is no end to the demon beasts and fierce beasts. The sea of demon beasts, the sea of fierce beasts. If all the demon beasts and fierce beasts rush to the continent, they will be able to destroy almost all the humans. I've been hearing that the Dragon Clan is investigating the Dragon Palace's lair. Has the Dragon Clan found it? My God, how can the Dragon Palace resist such a terrifying team? 10 billion creatures from the extraordinary sea are attacking the Dragon Palace, and there are more than 100,000 Dragon Clan experts leading them. No matter how strong the Dragon Palace is, it will be destroyed. Is this the terror of the Dragon Clan? The creatures that command the entire extraordinary sea hiss. On the shore, everyone watched this scene in horror as the 10 billion demonic beasts headed toward the southern sea. Not long ago they had just learned that the Draconid Empire and the 50 Dragon Clans had once again attacked the Aoshan Empire. Now, the Dragon Clan had led the billions of extraordinary sea demonic beasts to attack the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Clan had roared for the first time in the past tens of thousands of years. It was the first time they had displayed the power of the continent's overlord. It was so terrifying that it made people's hearts palpitate. Chapter 1779. 1779. The 1779 Dragon Clan roared. The Dragon Palace is going to be finished. I'm afraid the Aoshan Empire is going to be finished as well. After more than 10 minutes, the people on the beach finally finished watching the entire army. How many sea beasts were there? They didn't know. However, they were 100% sure that the Dragon Palace wouldn't be able to resist such a powerful force. There were too many of them. The news by the sea and the roars of the dragon race spread to every corner of the continent at a terrifying speed. When the entire continent heard the news again, it was shocked again. 50 dragon race experts and the Draconid Empire are attacking the Aoshan Empire, and more than 100,000 members of the dragon race are leading the demon beasts and fierce beasts of the extraordinary sea to attack the Dragon Palace. What are they trying to do? The Dragon Palace is completely finished this time. The Dragon Palace has no power to resist the power of the entire extraordinary sea. It seems that the dragon race is really angry this time. They actually used all their power to destroy the Dragon Palace. This time, the Dragon Palace and the Dragon King are doomed. After all, they are the overlords of the extraordinary continent. When they roar, everyone and all the factions will tremble. All the forces on the continent were discussing in shock. Respect for the roar of the dragon race rose once again. The overlords of the transcendental continent were the overlords of the transcendental continent after all. The Dragon Palace was completely defeated this time. When all the citizens of the Dragon Phoenix Empire received the news, their expressions changed drastically. They could only pray that the Dragon Palace would be able to escape this calamity. They hoped that their Lord King wouldn't be killed by the Dragon Race experts. Crap, the Dragon Race has found the Dragon King's location. At this moment, the expressions of several experts of the Aoshan Empire changed slightly in the Outyin mountain peak of the Aoshan Empire. When the 50 dragons and the Dragon Men Empire attacked, the Aoshan Empire immediately wanted to ask the Dragon Palace for help. Now that they had received this news, their faces darkened. The dragon clan actually found the dragon palace's lair, and hundreds of thousands of dragons and billions of water clans went to attack the dragon palace. I wonder if my little friend Dragon King will survive. It would be a pity if he dies. Sitting on the side, the Aoshan Emperor's face was also extremely ugly. The Dragon Clan and the Draconid Empire had made a comeback, and the Dragon Palace had suffered a fatal attack from the Dragon Clan. With the strength of the Draconid Empire and the 50 Dragon Emperors, the Aoshan Empire could not withstand it at all. Emperor Aoshan knew the strength of the dragon race very well. He knew that no matter how strong the Dragon Palace was, it would not be a match for the dragon race. The Dragon King was already considered lucky to be able to escape. Baiming led an army to the battlefield. What's the situation now? Emperor Aoshan leaned back on his chair, his hand touching the divine weapon, the towering mountain, as he slowly closed his eyes and asked. Forefather, the Emperor has already guarded a city and set up a formation to meet the enemy. However, the Draconid Empire and the 50 dragon race experts didn't attack the city. Instead, they went around and continued to slaughter the other cities. They didn't leave any civilians behind in the cities they passed by. The rivers of blood are simply too cruel. An expert's expression was ugly as he clenched his fists and said, a city alone had tens of millions of people. I wonder what plan they have for collecting human blood. Aoshan Emperor muttered as his brows twitched. He had a bad feeling about this. The dragon race didn't send out many experts. 50 dragon race experts and the Draconid Empire's experts, we can't defend against them at all. But they didn't choose to attack head-on. Is it because they're afraid that I'll attack? As the Aoshan Emperor spoke, the few experts in front of him frowned and fell into deep thought. No matter what conspiracy it is, the dragon race, the Dragon Man Empire, after all, you have massacred more than 10 cities of our Aoshan Empire. That's hundreds of millions of people, hundreds of millions of people. As he spoke, his body trembled slightly. He slowly took the towering mountain that was placed at the side and opened his eyes to caress it. Ancestor, are you trying to? When the few experts in front saw Emperor Aoshan's actions, their hearts trembled slightly. No matter what, I cannot watch our empire's citizens be massacred wantonly. I cannot watch our humans be massacred wantonly by a foreign race. Emperor Aoshan opened his eyes, and an incomparably dense killing intent surged in his eyes. He slowly stood up and dragged the towering mountain with his right hand as he took 2 steps forward. Everyone thinks that I, Aoshan Emperor, have already fallen. Today I will fight the dragon race again. In my lifetime I will be able to fight the dragon race twice. I have no regrets, ha. Aoshan Emperor laughed loudly and disappeared from where he was. With the ancestor here, even the dragon race has nothing to fear. In the room, a few elders revealed determined expressions. So what if it was the dragon race that had the patriarch holding the divine weapon? The dragon race's roar made the entire continent panic. Even the 9-god empire and the dragon phoenix empire were on full alert. No one on the continent knew how long the dragon race's roar would last. In the extraordinary sea, countless demonic beasts swam toward the southern sea. There were more than 100,000 water dragons in the front of the entire water dragon race. More than 1,000 longevity-level water dragons were giving off a terrifying aura. They were all subordinates of the dragon clan in the tens of thousands of kilometers behind them. We don't need to do anything. We can submerge the dragon palace with just our subordinates. An elder of the water dragon clan said proudly in the middle of the hundreds of thousands of dragons. Just watch as those ants are torn to shreds. A water dragon said lightly. The water dragon clan led the sea beasts of the extraordinary sea to attack the dragon palace. They did so to show the dignity of the dragon clan. They told all the forces on the continent that the dragon clan was supreme. Any ant who dared to provoke them would be destroyed. They didn't care about the dragon palace, which was rumored to be extremely powerful, or the combat division of the dragon palace. There was only one dragon king who would make the dragon clan take this seriously. But at most they would send an elder to kill him. The huge team advanced, and it took the entire team 5 days to get close to the sea area where the dragon palace was. The dragon clan was not afraid that the dragon palace would get the news and flee in advance. This time, even if the experts of the dragon palace escaped to the Aoshan Empire, they would still chase after them. Reporting to Dragon King, a large number of demonic beasts and ferocious beasts have entered our territory. At this moment, Wang Xian was accompanying the girls and Feng Yuan in the Dragon Palace. He was slightly taken aback when he heard the report from the Yaksha. Reporting to the Dragon King, the Dragon Palace's formation has issued a warning. More than 100,000 dragon race experts are leading countless armies to attack our Dragon Palace. At this moment, Prime Minister Gui flew over anxiously and reported to Wang Xian from afar. The dragon race has discovered our Dragon Palace? Wang Xian was slightly taken aback. With a wave of his arm, the images detected by the Dragon Palace's detection formation were displayed in front of them. When they saw the terrifying members of the Dragon Clan and countless demonic beasts, the girls' expressions changed drastically. Chapter 1780. 1780 Dragon Power, Absolute Control. Oh my god, how can there be so many demon beasts? Hiss little Xian, what a terrifying dragon race. Have they gathered all the demon beasts in the entire extraordinary sea? The scene in the array formations detection screen made the girls look shocked. More than 100,000 water dragons were in the center, and behind them were countless sea beasts. In the sky above the sea, demonic beasts like seabirds that blotted out the sky completely covered the entire sky of the Dragon Palace. The area of the Dragon Palace had now reached more than 1,000 kilometers. However, just these water dragons alone could cover more than 1,000 kilometers of the sky. One could imagine how terrifying it was. Endless, truly endless. Not to mention the demonic beasts and fierce beasts behind the 100,000 water dragons of the Dragon Clan. It was no exaggeration to say that they could drown the Dragon Palace. Are they gathering all the powerful demonic beasts and ferocious beasts in the entire extraordinary sea? Feng Yuan was also filled with shock when she saw this scene. The girls' faces were filled with worry. The strongest one at level 9 of longevity? Wang Xian looked at the level displayed on the detection screen without the slightest hint of worry on his face. In fact, there was even a glimmer of light in his eyes. Fortunately, our Dragon Palace has leveled up to level 5. We can completely withstand the attacks of experts below the godly state. Guan Shuqing's face was slightly pale as she looked at the scene on the screen. She patted her chest lightly. Prime Minister Gui, get ready to face the enemy. Wang Xian revealed a faint smile on his face and ordered Prime Minister Gui directly. It's the Dragon King. All the disciples of the Dragon Palace are ready. Prime Minister Gui replied immediately. Ah, little Xian, we are going to face the enemy? There are simply too many of them. The group of girls were slightly shocked as they looked at him in astonishment. In the Dragon Palace, I can sense that my strength has increased by 5 times. I can at least fight a level higher. Therefore, the strength of the members of the Dragon Palace can increase by another level within a radius of 2,000 kilometers with the support of the Dragon Palace. This level may seem small, but it can increase the combat strength of the Dragon Palace by thousands of longevity experts. With the defense of the Dragon Palace, it's not impossible to fight against them. Feng Yuan looked pensive as she spoke slowly. This is secondary. Wang Xian heard Feng Yuan's analysis and smiled faintly. The members of the Dragon Palace possess the might of a dragon. They are able to suppress creatures of the same species. Take turtles for example. Prime Minister Gui has the strength of level 3 longevity. He is able to suppress turtles below level 3 longevity. The rest of the members of the Dragon Palace are also able to suppress them. Most importantly, I can also control all creatures below my level. As Wang Xian spoke, a smile appeared on his face. His body moved and he flew out directly. All disciples of the Dragon Palace, prepare to kill the enemy. As he spoke, his eyes were filled with excitement. The endless number of aquatic creatures that came to attack was so adorable in his eyes. As a member of the Divine Dragon Clan, the most powerful talent was to be able to control the aquatic creatures that were weaker than him. This ability was often used by Wang Xian when he was on Earth. However, ever since he came to the extraordinary mainland, he rarely used it because he had always fought against those of a higher level. Since the other party's level was higher than his, the ability to control the water tribe was completely useless. Moreover, when he was facing the dragon tribe, the dragon emperors of the dragon tribe were also of a higher level than him. Hence, they did not have any suppression towards the dragon emperors. However, it was different now. The group of girls were slightly shocked. Their faces were slightly stunned as their eyes sparkled. Doesn't that mean that you, Xiao Xian, can control almost all the water clans here? The group of girls hurriedly followed behind and flew towards the dragon gate of the dragon palace. Their eyes sparkled. Whoosh. 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 When Wang Xian had just arrived in front of the dragon palace, which was 1,000 meters tall and 1,000 meters long, all the members of the dragon palace were gathered behind him. In addition to the special department, the 11 divisions of the dragon palace were all gathered behind Wang Xian. All the members of the dragon palace held their weapons tightly as they stared at the black mass of demonic beasts and ferocious beasts in front of them. The sky above the sea was completely covered by seabirds. Billions of demonic beasts were swimming towards them under the leadership of the water dragons of the dragon clan. There were more than 100,000 water dragons and more than 1,000 longevity-level dragon emperors. These powers could sweep across the entire extraordinary continent and even wipe out all humans. They were getting closer. They were still about 100 kilometers away. Hiss, look over there. Oh my god, there are so many sea beasts. Is that the territory of the dragon palace? The seabirds are all hovering in the sky, covering an area of at least 1,000 kilometers. Oh my god, that should be the nest of the dragon palace. I've seen the experts of the dragon palace flying over from that direction. It seems that the dragon palace has really been discovered. The dragon palace is finished, and the dragon king is also finished. It's too terrifying. The strength of the dragon race is simply too terrifying. If they want to deal with us humans, they can also wipe us all out. The dragon palace was located near the Sea of Transcendence. Although it was some distance away from land, it was still quite a distance away. However, when the seabirds, which covered an area of more than 1,000 kilometers, circled there, it was still noticed by some experts. Some brave people even flew a distance in this direction, only to see this terrifying scene. Unless a god makes a move, the dragon palace is completely finished. A god? Is that possible? The dragon palace has been destroyed, and the Draconid Empire has suffered a bloody massacre. The Overlord is still the Overlord. The Dragon Clan probably doesn't need to send so many subordinates. They are announcing that this is a roar. The Dragon Clan is still the Dragon Clan. The dozens of elders looked at this scene with shocked faces and sighed slightly. Roar. At this moment, a violent roar came from the bottom of the sea. Hearing this voice full of majesty and pressure, the dozens of people's faces turned pale. They fled in fear. Even a roar is so terrifying, oh my god. They retreated for thousands of kilometers. Reckless ants, how dare you put your nest in the territory of the dragon clan? In the depths of the sea, hundreds of thousands of water dragons led billions of sea beasts and slowly approached the dragon palace. All the water dragons' faces and eyes were full of pride and judgment. The leader of the elders of the dragon clan stared at the dragon palace in front of them and shouted in surprise. What a huge and majestic palace. After we destroy those ants in the dragon palace, we can occupy this place. The dozens of dragon emperors also looked at the huge dragon palace in surprise. Looking at the dragon palace in front of us, why do I feel an impulse from the bloodline? It seems that there must be something good in their dragon palace, haha. The other experts of the dragon clan looked at the underwater palace, which was even more majestic than their nest, with excitement on their faces. As for the more than 20,000 creatures in the dragon palace in front of them, they didn't take them seriously at all. Chapter 1781. 1781. The 1781 dragon might was under absolute control. More than 20,000 members of the dragon palace were like a mantis trying to block a chariot against the dragon clan and the billions of creatures in the extraordinary sea. When the number reached a certain level, it could make up for the difference in quality. In the eyes of the dragon clan, the destruction of the dragon palace was destined, and they didn't even need to make a move. Disciples of the dragon palace, get ready. Prime Minister Gue stared at the endless enemies in front of him. He took a deep breath and shouted loudly. Yes. The members of the dragon palace stared at the front with cold eyes. Facing the hundreds of thousands of dragons and the aquatic creatures of the extraordinary sea, they weren't afraid at all. Woo woo woo. In the sky above the dragon clan, Xiaolan let out a terrifying roar. The roar was filled with dignity and caused many sea beasts to panic. If not for the suppression of the dragon clan, many sea beasts would have escaped. Ants, kneel down and submit to us. We can consider giving you a way out. Otherwise my subordinates behind me will drown you all. Roar, roar, roar. At this moment, the water dragon in the middle of the dragon clan slowly swam more than 10 meters forward. He stared at all the members of the dragon clan who were 20 kilometers away and roared nobly. Prepare to slay the dragon. Wang Xian looked at the proud dragon clan and revealed a faint sneer. He raised his arms slowly and roared loudly. Roar! Slay the dragon. All the members of the dragon palace raised the weapons in their hands and roared loudly. A bunch of ants who are seeking death. Hearing the roars of all the members of the dragon palace and sensing the killing intent that was charging at them, the dragon clan elders' eyes were filled with cold killing intent. All the subordinates of the dragon clan in the extraordinary sea, attack and drown them. Roar! The dragon elder roared and gave the signal to attack. Roar! Roar! Chirp! 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 Oh! 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 The horn of war sounded and all the sea beasts roared at once. Seahorses, sea dragons, sea turtles, sea birds. All kinds of sounds reverberated throughout the extraordinary sea, covering hundreds of thousands of kilometers. Almost 1/6 to 1/7 of the central continent could hear this roar. Everyone looked over in shock. Bus. With this roar, the sea beasts at the front began to attack the dragon palace. The front, back, left, right and above were all surrounded by the sea beast. More than 100,000 water dragons raised their heads high and enjoyed this scene. They were proud and aloof just like the Celestials. They were looking down on everything. Dragon King, should we activate the attack mode of the Dragon Palace's array formation? Prime Minister Gui asked Wang Xian when he saw countless sea beasts attacking. No need. If we attack, it would be bad if the rest of the sea beasts escape. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes slightly and shouted, Members of the Dragon Palace, kill! Kill? With an order, all the members of the Dragon Palace charged forward. There were more than 20,000 of them against billions of sea beasts. They were not afraid at all. The billions of demonic beasts in the Sea of Extraordinariness was a complete advantage in terms of numbers. Their strength was much lower than the members of the Dragon Palace. Boom, boom, boom. The collision instantly dyed the surroundings red with blood. In just an instant, the wave of attacks from the Dragon Palace had killed at least hundreds of thousands of sea beasts. However, these hundreds of thousands of sea beasts were only a drop in the ocean among the billions of sea beasts that had invaded. Oh, oh, oh. In the sky, Little Blue, which was 20,000 meters tall, opened its huge mouth. It was like a blue whale swallowing a small fish. With a single bite, more than 100,000 sea beasts were swallowed into its stomach. It was extremely terrifying. Countless corpses fell down like rain. The corpses fell to the bottom of the sea and melted slowly. At the dragon transformation pool of the Dragon Palace, large amounts of dragon blood flowed out from the dragon heads on the 10 dragon pillars. Wang Xian and the group of girls stood quietly below and watched the surrounding seawater turn into blood. Xiao Xian, should we make our move now? Guan Shuqing and the other girls looked at Wang Xian and asked. No need. Let's wait a little longer. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled as he looked up at the bloody battlefield. He did not make his move immediately. His draconic aura was not a domain. With his current strength, he could only control aquatic creatures of a lower level within a radius of 500 kilometers. The area within a 500-kilometer radius was not small, but compared to the demonic beasts within a radius of several thousand kilometers, it was still far from enough. Setting a king bomb at the beginning would make the dragon race wary and even flee. He was waiting until the last moment. For this reason, he did not even activate the offensive array formation that the level 5 Dragon Palace had. Roar, roar, roar. Boom, boom, boom. The roars echoed within a radius of thousands of kilometers. The 20,000 Dragon Clan members exploded with 5 times the strength of the Dragon Palace. In this space, they formed an indestructible iron bucket array and blocked all the sea beasts within a radius of 20 kilometers. Each attack of the Dragon Clan members could kill more than 100,000 sea beasts. In just 5 minutes, the number of demon beasts killed by the Dragon Palace had reached 6 to 7 million. The area around the Dragon Palace turned blood red, and the entire sea area was sticky. A large amount of dragon blood poured into the dragon transformation pool. Quantity could cause a qualitative change. Even though the level of the sea beasts wasn't high, they could still make the Dragon Palace accumulate terrifying amounts of dragon blood. Roar, the strength of this Dragon Palace is beyond our imagination. It can withstand the attacks of so many sea beasts. In the center, more than 100,000 dragons said in surprise as they watched the sea beasts die one after another. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace has the strength of level 8 longevity after all, and this is their nest. There should be a powerful array formation here. However, we aren't in a hurry. Not even 1% of the sea beasts have charged through. The Dragon Clan was not worried at all and continued to watch leisurely. Hundreds of millions of sea beasts could exhaust the Dragon Palace to death. Not to mention the Dragon Palace, even the experts of the Water Dragon Clan would be exhausted to death when facing so many sea beasts. Even half of the sea beasts could exhaust them to death. There were so many of them that even ants could bite an elephant to death. Time passed slowly, and the corpses of all kinds of sea beasts, thick blood, and the smell of blood filled the area of more than 10,000 kilometers. The blood, and corpses didn't scare the sea beasts, but made them even more berserk. They didn't dare to disobey the orders of the Dragon Clan, but now that they were fighting, the blood made them even more berserk and excited. The body of the sea beast was so huge that even the Dragon Palace couldn't keep up with the absorption. The pond in the magnificent Dragon Pond was almost full of blood. It was the Dragon Transformation Pond. The Dragon Transformation Pond of a level 5 Dragon Palace had never been filled with dragon blood before. As a powerful dragon of the Divine Dragon Clan, the members of the Dragon Palace had terrifying patience. Time passed slowly. Half an hour later, a member of the Dragon Palace was accidentally hit by a powerful demon beast and fell toward the Dragon Gate with serious injuries. At this time, the members of the Dragon Palace slowly began to show signs of decline. Chapter 1782. 1782 Dragon power was definitely under their control. The Dragon Palace actually managed to resist until now. What a surprise. Their strength is really out of our expectations. However, their death is coming soon. After the screams of the disciples of the Dragon Palace were heard, the members of the Dragon Clan in the middle of the Sea Beast army raised their eyebrows and said in surprise. 1/8 of the sea beasts that had covered thousands of kilometers were gone. 1/8 was a huge number with at least billions of sea beasts. In just half an hour, the members of the Dragon Palace had killed billions of sea beasts, which was a terrifying number. The power of the Dragon Palace had completely exceeded their expectations. At this moment, the members of the Dragon Clan could no longer see the exact situation inside. The thick blood and countless sea beasts had blocked their vision. All the members of the Dragon Clan were covered by a sky-blue water shield to prevent the smell of blood and blood from being transmitted over. They were still standing high up in the middle of billions of sea beasts. Next, it's my turn. Wang Xian smiled when he saw all the members of the Dragon Palace showing signs of weakness. All the members of the Dragon Palace take a break. Wang Xian took a few thousand meters in the air and transformed into his dragon form. Roar, roar. A dragon's roar was heard and the dragon's might slowly covered the area in front of him. The sea beasts that were attacking from all directions froze slightly. It's the Dragon King. All the members of the Dragon Palace immediately fell down with exhausted faces. Although the opponent they were facing wasn't high level, they couldn't withstand every large-scale attack, even if it was a top-tier dragon of the Dragon Palace. In the past, the bug race could become the most top and terrifying race in the universe because of their huge numbers. If I were to devour billions and billions of aquatic creatures, how much would my strength increase? Wang Xian's eyes were filled with hope. The invasion of the dragon race did not cause him to feel any fear. Instead, it was a huge opportunity. An opportunity that could rapidly increase his strength. Dragon country in the palm. Dragon head the world. Dragon body of 10,000 miles. Divine dragon tail swing. Roar, roar, roar. When all the members of the Dragon Palace retreated, Wang Xian immediately unleashed his strongest strength. In an instant, a 100,000-meter-long dragon hovered above the Dragon Palace. Its terrifying body was so huge that even Xiaolan paled in comparison. Xiaolan, who had swallowed at least hundreds of millions of Water Tribe members, was lying tiredly in the sky above the Dragon Palace. When she saw Wang Xian's body size, her eyes were filled with respect. Rule the aquatic creatures. Wang Xian's mind stirred. An invisible aura spread out in the surroundings. It could rule aquatic creatures within a radius of 500 kilometers that were lower than level 3 of longevity. The power of this rule was too strong. In order to avoid alerting the enemy, Wang Xian did not envelop the dragon tribe. Roar, devour. A deafening roar came from Wang Xian's mouth. The invisible energy shook the water tribe within a radius of 500 kilometers. Wang Xian opened his gigantic dragon mouth. With a body of 100,000 meters, Wang Xian's dragon mouth was about 5,000 meters wide. Roar, roar, roar. The roar was heard and the order was given. At this moment, the water tribe creatures within a radius of 500 kilometers flew crazily towards Wang Xian's mouth. That's right, they flew directly into the mouth of the Dragon King and turned into divine crystals. Hence, an extremely terrifying and shocking scene appeared. Wang Xian's gigantic body was coiled in the sky above the Dragon Palace. He opened his largest mouth. Countless aquatic creatures flew towards his mouth. Roar, roar. It seems that the members of the Dragon Palace can't hold on any longer. Even the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace has made his move. Haha, how long do you guys think the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace can hold on for? I hope he can hold on for half an hour. At the place where the hundreds of thousands of Dragon Clan experts were, all the members of the Dragon Clan smiled when they heard Wang Xian's roar. From the screams of the experts of the Dragon Palace to the roar of the Dragon King, everything proved that the Dragon Palace was about to be destroyed. Just as what the Dragon Clan had expected, they didn't need to do it themselves. However, what the hundreds of thousands of dragons didn't expect was that countless aquatic creatures were flying toward Wang Xian's mouth from where they couldn't see. If they could see it, their faces would be filled with astonishment. At this moment, Wang Xian seemed to have turned into a taotai. Countless aquatic creatures surged in. Under the system's control, they immediately turned into dragon chi and divine crystals. In front of the dragon gate, a group of girls were shocked when they saw this scene. There was a scene of a dragon sucking water from the ocean. Here there was a scene of a dragon sucking billions of aquatic creatures. Shocking. This? With Xiao Xian's ruling power, other than the dragons, there didn't seem to be many creatures that were above level 3 of longevity in the entire extraordinary sea. Wouldn't these billions of aquatic creatures pose no threat to Xiao Xian at all and become food instead? Guan Shuqing and the other girls stared at this scene with their eyes wide open as they muttered. If little Xian is able to devour so many sea beasts, what realm can his strength reach? Feng Wan's body trembled slightly when she saw this scene, and her eyes sparkled. It was likely that the wish that Wang Xian had made back then was about to come true. Mighty Dragon King. When all the members of the Dragon Palace saw this scene, they looked at their king in awe. The Invincible King. Ding. Congratulations to host for leveling up to level 4 longevity. 20 minutes later, Wang Xian had no idea how many aquatic creatures he had devoured. It was more than a billion, at least a few billion. With such a huge number, the system's voice rang in his ears. Level up. Name Wang Xian. Race, Yin-Yang 5 Elements Divine Dragon, Mandragon Unity. Level, Longevity Level 4, 4th Change of the Divine Dragon Transformation. Divine Crystal, 21/50ths, 000. Supernatural Ability, Rule the Water Tribe below their level. Devour living things to extract divine crystals. Control of the 5 elements. Cultivation Method, Divine Dragon Transformation. Supernatural Ability, Soul Capture, Spirit Possession, Yin-Yang 5 Elements Dragon Eyes. Aspect, 5 Elements Grinding, Dragon Kingdom in the palm, Dragon Head under the heavens, Dragon Body of 10,000 miles, Yin-Yang Poles, Yin-Yang 5 Elements Arms Bowl, Divine Dragon Tail Swing. Domain, Rainbow Dragon Domain. Dragon Palace, Level 5. Dragon Palace Members, 23,433. With the increase in level, Wang Xian's body size had a huge increase again. From 100,000 meters, it had reached about 110,000 meters. The rainbow-colored light shone on his body. The area that ruled the water tribe had also increased by 100 kilometers, reaching 600 kilometers. The strength of level 4 of longevity allowed his combat ability to reach level 9 of longevity. However, all of this did not stop. The number of sea beasts that Wang Xian and the members of the Dragon Palace had killed and devoured was at most 1/4. There was still a huge number of sea beasts in the surroundings. At the very least, it could increase Wang Xian's strength by 2 or even 3 levels. He could directly possess the combat ability of the godly state. Chapter 1783. 1783 The power of 1783 gods. Roar. In front of the dragon palace, countless sea beasts were roaring crazily. Wang Xian, whose level had been upgraded to the 4th level of longevity, had a huge increase in his devouring speed. Every second, thousands of sea beasts were rushing into Wang Xian's dragon mouth. Behind him, countless sea beasts were lining up, forming a scene of sea beasts jumping into the dragon mouth. It was as if there were treasures in Wang Xian's mouth that attracted them. In fact, all the sea beasts were under Wang Xian's absolute control. Wang Xian did not feel guilty about devouring the creatures in the extraordinary sea. They were subordinates of the dragon race and listened to the dragon race. Since they wanted to kill him, they had to be prepared to be killed. Sometimes there was no right or wrong in war. After his level had increased, Wang Xian's divine crystals were still increasing at a rapid speed. At least 5 to 6 divine crystals per second. If this was in the past, he would never have dared to imagine such a thing. All the members of the Dragon Palace looked at this scene in shock. The Dragon Clan, who were surrounded by countless sea beasts, did not know what was happening at the front. They looked at the sea beasts that were attacking the front with pride and waited for the destruction of the Dragon Palace. They weren't afraid that the people of the Dragon Palace would escape because the entire Dragon Palace was surrounded by countless sea beasts. Time passed slowly again. Soon, another 20 minutes had passed, and countless sea beasts were still rushing into the palace. The furious roars were incessant, but gradually more than 100,000 dragons frowned slightly, feeling somewhat puzzled. What's going on? We haven't taken down a dragon king in 40 minutes? It's been so long. We've lost almost a third of the sea beasts in the extraordinary sea, and we still haven't killed the dragon king? 40 minutes had passed, and their subordinates were losing at a terrifying speed, but they still didn't see any signs of breaking through the dragon palace. This made all the members of the dragon clan look surprised. Some of the members of the dragon clan looked at each other, and a bad premonition appeared in their minds. All the members of the dragon clan looked at the center and at their elders. A bunch of trash. They haven't destroyed the dragon palace in such a long time. It seems that I have to do it myself. The elder of the dragon clan in the center frowned. His expression was ugly and he roared furiously. He had lost so many sea beasts for so long, but he still couldn't kill a single dragon. This made him very angry. Roar, roar, roar. He roared and his terrifying aura charged forward. You bunch of trash, make way for me. The elder of the dragon clan roared and waves of wild waves charged forward. However, the image of all the sea beasts making way did not appear. All the sea beasts seemed to have not heard his voice and continued to rush toward the dragon palace crazily. Ha! The elder of the dragon clan was slightly stunned and showed a stunned expression. As the master of the extraordinary sea, no creature dared to disobey their orders in this sea. However, it was as if all the sea beasts in front of him did not hear his angry roar. This caused him and the entire dragon tribe to be filled with astonishment. The dragon tribe finally can't take it anymore? Wang Xian heard the angry roar of the elder of the dragon tribe coming from outside. He raised his eyebrows slightly and a thought came to his mind. Boom! All the demonic beasts within a radius of 600 kilometers trembled. Destroy the dragon clan. Wang Xian closed his dragon mouth and swept his gaze across all the sea beasts around him. He shouted faintly. Roar! 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 All the sea beasts within a radius of 600 kilometers responded. They swayed their bodies and slowly turned around. Their eyes, which were dyed red with blood, were looking at the hundreds of thousands of dragons. What's going on? When all the sea beasts within a radius of 600 kilometers turned around to look at the hundreds of thousands of dragons, the members of the dragon clan were stunned. What are you bunch of animals doing? The expression of the elder of the dragon clan changed slightly when he saw this scene. A terrifying murderous aura charged towards all the sea beasts within a radius of thousands of kilometers. You bunch of trash, make way for me, the Dragon King. Destroy the Dragon Palace. The elder of the dragon clan roared again. Attack. At this moment, Wang Xian's voice came from the front. Boom. At this moment, all the sea beasts within a radius of 600 kilometers attacked the hundreds of thousands of members of the dragon clan. What? These bunch of trash actually dared to attack us. Damn it, we are the Dragon Clan and your masters. Stop right now. Roar. Trash. Are you looking for death? All the members of the dragon race were shocked when they saw this scene. They shouted loudly in shock. However, how could the sea beasts, who were under absolute control, care about the dragon race? If they were to attack each other now, they wouldn't have any resistance. Roar. 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 All the sea beasts within a radius of 600 kilometers swarmed forward. Wang Xian looked at this scene with a smile on his face. He swept his gaze downward and immediately ordered, "All members of the Dragon Palace, go and kill all the sea beasts within a 600-kilometer radius. Don't let them escape. Leave the Dragon Clan to me. It's the Dragon King." At this moment, the members of the Dragon Palace who had rested for 40 minutes had completely recovered to their peak. When they heard the Dragon King's order, they immediately flew toward their surroundings with excitement. These sea beasts that were attacking them were simply here to help them increase their strength. Since you are here to besiege the Dragon Palace, I shall let you enjoy the feeling of being besieged. Wang Xian raised his head and scanned the direction of the Dragon Clan with the dragon eyes of the yin-yang and 5 elements. Roar, roar, roar. Kill. This bunch of trash actually dared to attack our Dragon Clan. Kill them. The elders of the Dragon Clan let out an incomparably furious roar. Although they didn't understand why this group of trash was used by the Dragon Palace, anyone who dared to attack the Dragon Clan would die. Roar, roar, roar. Water dragons wreak havoc. More than 100,000 water dragons gathered together and released terrifying attacks at the same time. The bloody seawater around them condensed into the shape of water dragons and charged toward a radius of several hundred kilometers. One attack, just one attack. More than 1,000 furious dragons at the longevity level and more than 100,000 at the void interpretation level. With one attack, the entire space shook and countless seawater churned. The surrounding seawater seemed to have encountered a great terror. In an instant, all the sea beasts within a 200-kilometer radius were killed. More than 100,000 dragons attacked together and destroyed at least 5 to 6 billion sea beasts in one move. How terrifying was this? The combined strength of the Water Dragon Clan was still much stronger than the Dragon Palace. A bunch of trash, get lost for the Dragon Clan. Tens of thousands of dragons' furious attacks cleared out an empty space. This space didn't even have seawater. Damn Dragon Palace, damn Dragon King, I don't know what methods you used to make these trash attack us, but now your end is here. Chapter 1784. 1784 Power of God 2. Your doomsday has arrived. An angry roar came from the Dragon Elder's mouth. His blood-red eyes were filled with brutality. They were a dignified Dragon Clan. They led the subordinates of the Extraordinary Sea to attack the Dragon Palace. Yet they were reduced to such a state. This made all the members of the Dragon Clan extremely furious. It's your doomsday. In the empty space, Wang Xian was facing more than 100,000 members of the Dragon Clan from afar. Looking at the furious expressions of all the members of the Dragon Clan, a faint smile appeared on his face. It was filled with mockery. Get rid of these ants for me. When the elders of the Dragon Clan saw Wang Xian's provocative expression, they roared furiously with a face full of killing intent. Immediately they ordered all the Dragon Clan disciples to attack. At the same time, he and the few elders beside him moved their huge bodies and attacked Wang Xian directly. The dignity of the Dragon Clan and the aura of the Dragon Clan were clearly displayed. Hee. When Wang Xian saw more than 100,000 members of the Dragon Clan attacking them, a smile appeared on his face. Among the more than 100,000 members of the Dragon Clan, there were about 1,500 people in the realm of longevity. Among the 1,500 people in the realm of longevity, there were only about 100 people who were above the 3rd level of longevity. The thing that scares you has only just begun. Wang Xian looked at the 100,000 dragon race members who were attacking him at a rapid speed and his aura trembled. Buzz. An invincible sea of consciousness swept across the 100,000 dragon race members. Apart from the 100 dragon race members who were above the 3rd level of longevity, the rest of the dragon race members trembled. Attack. Wang Xian shouted with excitement on his face. Attack. Let these ants know how powerful we are. The elder of the Dragon Clan roared furiously and ordered the rest of the Dragon Clan members around him. Boom, boom, boom. However, what happened next terrified the 100 Dragon Clan experts. Around them, the 100,000 Dragon Clan members suddenly turned around and attacked the 100 Dragon Clan experts who were above the 3rd level of longevity. At this moment, all the experts were stunned, their faces filled with fear as they looked at their clansmen and disciples. The attacks of these 100,000 members of the dragon race had completely exceeded their expectations. The experts of the dragon race had never expected that their disciples would attack them. At this moment, the 100 experts of the dragon race were unable to dodge at the first moment. Bang bang bang. Roar 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 roar. Waves of terrifying power landed on the bodies of the 100 dragon experts. Even though the strength of the attacks on them was lower than theirs, the 100,000 attacks still caught the dozens of dragon experts off guard and caused them to let out pain screams. Roar roar roar. However, the attacks of the 100,000 dragon experts did not stop. They flapped their wings and pounced towards them. The 100,000 dragons pounced towards the 100 dragon race experts. What's going on? Stop. All of you stop. All of you are crazy. All of you stop. Roar roar roar. The few elders of the Water Dragon clan reacted and roared with extremely ugly expressions. However, the 100,000 dragons did not react at all. Their eyes continued to attack without any reaction. Roar. Roar. Let's kill our way out. Let's kill our way out. The few elders of the dragon clan were completely panicking, especially the first elder of the Water Dragon clan. When he saw his own clansmen attacking them like crazy, a trace of fear appeared in his eyes. It was too strange, simply too strange. Just now, when the group of sea beasts attacked their dragon clan, although they were surprised, they did not take it to heart. But now, their own kind actually attacked their clansmen like crazy. This caused the eyes of the 100 dragon clan members to be filled with fear. They are too strange, let's kill our way out. An elder followed up with a loud roar. He looked at the thousands of clansmen attacking him, gritted his teeth, and directly swung his dragon claws forward. Pull, pull, pull. The sound of tearing could be heard. The blood of their fellow clansmen dyed their bodies red. Smelling the blood of their fellow clansmen, the fear in their hearts grew even stronger. More than 20 of the 100 experts of the Dragon Clan were instantly killed under the attacks of more than 100,000 Dragon Clan members who were caught off guard. There were also more than 30 who were heavily injured. Only those above the Wanshou 5th rank were able to withstand the attacks with their powerful defenses. But at this time, facing the attacks of the other clansmen, they could only grit their teeth and charge out. With their strength they could completely charge out. But if they charged out, it also meant that their bodies were covered in the blood of their clansmen. And among these clansmen, there were even their descendants. Roar roar roar. Furious roars came out from the mouths of the dragons. Their blood-red eyes crazily slaughtered the surrounding clansmen who were attacking them. Soon more than 50 dragons cleared a bloody path. The rest had already fallen. If you want to escape, can you escape? Wang Xian's aura trembled again. Within a radius of 600 kilometers, there were at least 1 billion sea beasts waiting for them. Countless sea beasts pounced on them. Dragon Palace, Dragon King, we dragons swear that we will exterminate all of you. We will make you suffer so much that you wish you were dead. Seeing the countless sea beasts besieging them, the more than 50 Dragon Clan experts who were escaping let out a heart-wrenching roar. They swore that if they could return to the Dragon Clan, they would definitely make the god of the Dragon Clan, the experts of the Dragon Clan, and everyone in the Dragon Palace wish they were dead. A bunch of arrogant things. Do you really think that you are divine dragons? All of you are just a bunch of inferior dragons. Wang Xian looked at the group of dragons who were fleeing frantically outside. When he heard their words, a look of disdain appeared on his face. He swayed his huge body and attacked more than 50 dragons. Bus. Wang Xian waved his huge dragon claws and grabbed at the group of dragons. Oh no, elders, save us. The group of dragons felt the threat of death from Wang Xian's dragon claws and roared in fear. Die. A dragon elder at the 8th level of the see-through realm turned his dragon body. His pair of gigantic wings flickered with sharpness as he slashed at Wang Xian's gigantic dragon claws. Crack, crack, crack. However, when his dragon wings struck the dragon claws, there were only traces left behind. Ho ho no. When the dragon claws were completely clenched, the elder of the Dragon Clan let out a terrified scream as he felt the terrifying power and destructive energy coming from it. Turn into Dragon Qi. Wang Xian waved his dragon claws and lowered his dragon head, swallowing it directly into his stomach. How is this possible? Isn't this Dragon King a level 8 longevity expert? How is this possible? How can he have such terrifying strength? Seeing the level 8 longevity elder being killed and swallowed in one move, the remaining dragon race experts roared in fear. Not long ago, wasn't the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace only at level 8 longevity? How could he kill one of their elders in an instant now? Their dragon race was an invincible existence at the same level. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.